Welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the one, the only, Dion Green.
Baby, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the motherfucking World Class Bullshitter show. And like I say about my boy James Vanderbeek, especially when he owns a gun shop, my trigger.
And up next, American Ramrod, Kendo Slice.
Feels so weird going third. I'm used to going behind the big old simoleon.
I know, right? Well, Nick is not here tonight because we're live on a Friday. Not because we're trying to surprise people or vary it up. It's because I had to hitchhike back from Milwaukee, which is Algonquin for the good land. And, we're doing our show tonight. So this is episode 193 of the podcast. We've been doing it for, as of this week coming up, 4 years. So tonight is our anniversary episode. We're going to talk about some fun stuff with that. We've also passed 140,000 subscribers the other day, so we're trying to thank everybody and welcome all the new people and stuff like that. And I think I just got a notification that says I'm live on my own channel, which I did. Thank you, YouTube. And
I got that too.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb. And we got all this stuff we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about this Rise of Skywalker trailer that's supposed to be dropping on Monday, and how I'm guessing tickets go on sale instantly after that, and we can watch Fandango not crash. But that's me getting ahead of ourselves. So up first, we don't have any new patrons, but we'd like to thank and welcome everybody that is over on Patreon. Nick and Kendo have taken it into their own hands to do the Patreon exclusive Schlocktoberfest stuff. So I'd like to thank those guys. And I'll be uploading that throughout the week, so you guys have bonus content. We'll record after hours as usual, and we'll have a hell of a time tonight. So get prepared. If you're playing games, turn up the volume of this podcast and turn down whatever tracks you're listening to on the game, and get ready because tonight is going to be a fun show. You guys ready?
Oh,
Indeed.
yeah, dog.
All right. So, like I said, 140,000 subscribers. It's been awesome. We've doubled in about the last year. And I always am thankful when we hit these big milestones. I'm thankful all the time. But I'm thankful when we hit these big milestones because it's like a nice round number. We look at it. We go, hey, we made it to this marker. And we keep on moving forward. So everyone that's out there, I'd like to thank you. We got a lot of people that are here all the time. Like we have Blue Watcher, Salvador. Let's see, Sir Billy Ritchie. And we have new people that I don't recognize. Like, let's see, who do I not recognize? Mad Wolf. So if you're new, welcome. If you're not, you've been here a while and I haven't noticed your name, I apologize, but we appreciate it all the same. And we have Boba Fett's biggest fan here as well. So, but yeah, guys, we're really thankful that we hit the 140K number. We want to do 150, 200 by the end of the year with all the Star Wars content we got planned. Anything's possible. Like Dion, when we started this show 4 years ago Monday, which just, the show has the same birthday as me. Did you think that things would hit this big so fast?
I did. I mean, I think I'm a arrogant motherfucker. So, being a part of the conversations that you and I had, the conversations that you, Dustin, and I, or Curtis, whatever the fuck his name is now, the conversations that we had, I did think that it would be a pretty big deal, especially seeing as how 9 out of the 10 YouTubers, I think we're better than them for sure. I will admit though that it having this much of an impact with the fandom menace and the feedback we got from Celebration, and then on top of the fact that we, the Facebook page, and then obviously the I guess the presence that we see in the live chats, I did not see that coming at all. I thought it was kind of just going to be kind of a decent build on YouTube, a fast build, but a strong following. I didn't think it was going to fucking be like this. So it's been a very pleasant surprise.
Kendo, you were on the outside looking in, and now you're here. How's
Correct.
it feel to be here?
Fantastic. I'm very happy to be here.
Well, there we go. Thank
Good
you.
talk. Good talk.
Yeah, I see a lot of people commenting that we're live on a Friday. Like I said, folks, due to travel issues, couldn't do the show last night. So if you're tuning in thinking, what are they doing on a Friday night? Well, we're doing the show as usual. So, and last week's show was a nightmare because of a broken microphone and bad internet connection. So there
Correct. Definitely. Yeah. And welcome you guys to go and like us on Twitter, Instagram, and our Facebook page, the show page and the fan page, because we made the announcement about Jeff having to hitchhike his way home. So that's why we had to delay from last night to tonight.
Yep. Big Marge sent him, and he's here now, and he's got some fucking PTSD from that encounter. So
Excuse me, it's Large Jeff. Marge.
Yeah,
my
right.
bad. Big Marge, Large Marge. I'm drunk. Who the fuck cares? I can't.
Yeah, it's true. I'm drinking as well.
Big Marge is the lady that hangs out behind the 7-Eleven selling ketamine.
Oh, I thought that was Patty the daytime hooker.
No, she's the one that works behind the Denny's.
Damn it, Patty.
So, like I said, folks, thank you. And we're going to be talking about some of our favorite channel moments. I'll give one of mine right now. The Brandon Moist episode still stands out for me. You remember that one, guys, right?
Oh, fuck yeah. That was a crazy amount of fun.
So, yeah, you guys think of yours in the chat and you guys on the podcast with me presently. And let's start talking about tonight's main thing we wanted to talk about. Monday Night Football. Or more importantly, the Monday Night Football trailer for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Technically the first trailer for the film. Not, the spoiler at, the teaser at Celebration is officially listed as a teaser. Then we have the D23 special look. And both of those were outnumbered by Joker trailers, Spider-Man trailers, all these other things out there. And now people are going to go, well, Jeff, at the end of the year, it's all going to be about Star Wars. Is it, though? Nah. I feel like the last couple of years have proven that if you don't really hold the audience for a long period of time, other things come in and steal your thunder.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you guys expect from this trailer? I mean, obviously, like, we're going to see clips and stuff like that, but do you think we're going to get to see new characters revealed, or do you think it's too late in the marketing cycle to introduce that?
No, I think we're going to see new characters revealed. It's just going to be a rush job. I don't see anything, especially that they waited till fucking October. I think it's going to be a more hyped up version of the teaser. The slow-mo teaser with the slow down Star Wars theme, where it's Ben Solo going through the woods with his saber and shit, and the hugs and the kisses and all that bullshit. I think it's going to be a lot like that. I think we'll finally see Riri Skywalker, whatever the fuck that one girl's name is. I think we're going to see a lot more of the as I call it, the secondary Star Wars mission of them facing Sidious or Rey's Jedi trial, whatever the hell that is, where they see a Death Star. I think we're going to see a little bit more of that. I think we're going to see a very heavy-handed attempt to pull on our heartstrings for Leia. I think we're going to see a lot of Leia in this trailer, a lot of nostalgia claims, a lot of shit where they want us to come see it because we see so much Leia Organa Solo. And I think this trailer is going to be a shit show. And I'm not saying that because of my previous statements. I'm not saying that because I'm a fanboy. I sure should. I'm not saying that because of how I feel about John Stain and J.J. Abrams. But I think that legitimately they're going to try and put a trailer together, and I think it's going to be a shit show. And not because of it's Star Wars. I think it's going to be because it's going to be a marketing thing. They really want to pull on every Star Wars note that they have left, and it's going to be a hardcore ploy to get people to come see this fucking movie.
Can I just say, every time you say John Stain the way you do, I think you're going to say John Stamos.
Yeah, same thing. I
do, because
that way too.
When I first started saying that, Hillary thought that that's what I was talking about. She thought I was talking about John Stamos. I said, no, it's Ryan John Stain. She just goes, oh, okay. And that was it. So I was like, oh, well, I'm going to keep doing it because I think that's funny. So I'm glad that you guys pick up on that because, you care about me. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. John Stain.
We love you too, John Stain. Most. That'll be our shirt that we eventually launch on our store.
Uncle Stainy.
Oh, we're gonna do that Conrad style, Kendo. We have a shitty joke for a week. We make a T-shirt and we take it off by the next week's show.
Done.
No, but I'm gonna guess that they do my number one complaint with, like, I know this is we'll just say a trailer complaint, but I always hate how they do that single note and then they do the Force theme real slow on the piano. It doesn't feel like Star Wars. It's like when you modernize something that doesn't need to be modernized. It's like it was already timeless. You can rip on the prequels all you want, but they had great trailers, especially Episode 1's trailer. Holy shit. People say, what about the Chewie We're Home trailer? It had some cool moments, but overall, you had that teaser that didn't really build much. This trailer, Kendo, what do you think?
I think we're going to get a little bit more of the same of what we've already had. They're going to hit us with a little bit of the old nostalgia to try to get you sucked in and go, oh my God, this is going to be so good. And then you're going to realize, no, it's not. It's a piece of shit. And we're going to get, Rey doing, magical, stuff that she can do because she's all powerful. We're going to get Ben Swallow being an emo bitch. And they'll put some kind of new character in there just to try to get you to go, oh shit, who's that? I gotta go see this movie now. And everyone's gonna be like, it's gonna be dumb.
I want to give a shout out to ST. I don't know what your first message was, but you said Captain Skidmark, and that's a fantastic name. I just want to say that.
I saw that too. That was hilarious.
Yes,
that was awesome.
Fair play to you, sir.
That was awesome.
I'm gonna start calling that the people I don't like. Like, good play, Captain Skidmark.
Dude, that's so good. Please use that, especially when you come up for New Year's. That shit's gonna be fucking awesome.
Dude, I'm gonna talk so much shit to you when we play beer pong.
Oh, thank God. I can't wait. I can't wait to beat my best buddy and his fucking girlfriend in beer pong. The true war. The true war shows up.
What, do you think I'm going to play on her team over yours?
You passed the test, my good man. You passed the test. Goddamn right you ain't going to play on her team. We undefeated, son.
We have never lost a game in 10 years. I think I'm going to switch up that winning record because of my very happy relationship. No, we're going to win.
Man. And we're not even joking, people. We literally have not lost a game ever since we've been friends. It's awesome.
By the way, Alphamar, I'll give you the most honest answer of the film. That's what we do here on the channel in regards to episode 9. If we think it's great, I don't care about the narrative of what we've talked about in the past. We've always given you our most honest answers. We thought The Last Jedi was shit. I hated The Force Awakens. So if we ever review a movie and you go, oh, I didn't think they would say it that way, that's because we're giving our honest takes. We have nothing to gain or lose by being honest.
Yeah, but listen to our Justice League review.
Yeah. Got a lot of flack for that.
Yeah. Everyone expected us to hate it. We expected to hate it. And we didn't hate it.
It's hard being a prophet, you know. Motherfuckers be getting this shit wrong. We be saying the right stuff, and they be hurting, son. They be hurting.
Yeah. Mr. Dumbass predicted the world's going to end like 85 times. We're still here.
But just heads up, folks, I did see Joker. We're going to talk about that a little later in the show. So if you're dying to talk about that and hear our take, tonight is the night for that. So, but no, I wanted to say, because we're getting a lot of questions about, like, can you save Star Wars? Can you do this? Can you do that? I think in many ways, Star Wars will be used. They made the money that they used to buy it. And then I think Star Wars will just be like a video library merchandise thing moving forward. I don't see I hate to say it, but I don't see the next generation of kids going like, oh man, Star Wars, it's so cool. They're just like, oh, okay.
No,
maybe it'll be like a Terminator thing where it comes out and
oh God, don't say that. Jesus.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a bad example.
Fuck, dude. That's I messaged you guys when I saw the fucking Terminator trailer for Joker. I was like, it makes me want to throw up.
Do you want to go review that movie for the channel?
I do, just because like it's gonna be fun to talk shit about it. And I want to get to where we can talk about it without seeing it, but I know that I have to see it. So I'm gonna say yes just for that, not because God, that movie's gonna be so bad. If we gotta go, I'm gonna make people go with me because I just want to be able to talk shit about it, even if it's like good. Because it's not like Star Wars isn't at this point where like everyone knows when a trailer's really really bad. Like the Emoji Movie, like everyone, there wasn't a person that saw that trailer and was like, "Yeah, this could be fine." There wasn't a person that said that shit. And usually, you can tell when a trailer is harping hard on one theme, you know. So Dark Fate is harping very hard, very very hard on, you know, Linda Hamilton building up this random character chick where it's like I was her, and then you have the wannabe Kyle Reese LBGT 10,000 saying, "Oh well, I am human, just better." You know, like they're harping on that whole, like they're harping on all of the traits of the good Terminator movies, but they're doing it the same way that you have that kid that you know that would talk a lot of shit, and you know, Star Wars is starting to get there. You know, and you know, so many bad trailers do that, and you know, that's how you know Dark Fate's going to be terrible because it's just so heavy-handed just all the time. And Star Wars is slowly getting towards there. And it's just like,
to me, it's when you bastardize a franchise and you try to tell us, the audience, the people who've kept it alive forever. And let's be honest, people say, well, it's George's this and George's that. It's like, yeah, it can be George's story, but like the people bought into it and made it a forever thing. Right. Think of all the movies, like Willow, isn't that a George story?
Yep.
I'm just saying there are tons of George stories out there that the people didn't really glom onto. Red Tails, does anyone even know that movie exists? I saw it in theaters.
It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible. I'm not even going to talk shit about it. But my point is, there are a lot of things that these people have done that didn't catch on the way these things are. But when these other companies, or not even, just other companies come in and they're like, they have the toys to play with, they turn it into something else. Like, it's when someone sits down and tells me that Terminator has always been a Sarah Connor, Linda Hamilton franchise, I look at you in the face and I just want to spit in it because you're fucking wrong. It's always been an Arnold Schwarzenegger like.
Yes.
There's like one poster to T2, the iconic one of him on the motorcycle, and it just says Schwarzenegger. The first trailer is him in that machinery plant, and they're building the T800s, and then it's Schwarzenegger, and the eye turns red. Schwarzenegger, T2. It's always been his thing. He's old now. He's you can't pass the torch on because he's always been the Terminator. He's been in every film. You can't make somebody else play Rambo. You can't have somebody else be Indiana Jones. I tried with Han Solo, it failed. But my point is, like, they're trying to turn Star Wars into something it's not, and the fans always react adversely. There are 503 people watching right now. Those people react adversely to the stuff they try to do. And this trailer, J.J. Abrams is out there trying to cover his own ass right now. Last week, the story was, well, maybe the prequels are better than this new trilogy. And then I got to make that video because I was out of town. But now JJ is out there trying to preach, oh, this is going to tie up all 9 films. This is the finale you've all been waiting for. And some people are even trying to say, well, this is part of George Lucas's grand scheme. It's not. It's just to get your money, folks. If it smells fishy, it's fishy.
Well, and I think that's one of the things that are helping to unravel the movie. I think that, so many people catch on to that. I think that especially, trying to make it something that it's not. I think on top of that, you see this hard line push. Whenever you see a group resort to the bare minimum in order to uphold a point when it comes to a culture property, that they're on their last leg. That these are the death throes, right? And we're at that point with Star Wars where you have supposed artists and critics and then whatever, posting shit on Twitter. There was the one that was shared on the Facebook page.
The 9 endings.
Yep.
We'll talk about that. I got an article pulled up to talk about.
You should,
the 9 endings.
Yeah. And then there was the other one by a supposed artist that was saying, oh well, if someone, the red flags to fucking a boyfriend or whatever. And he talks about Star Wars. If he says these things, these are all red flags. When you see shit like that, like imagine being the person that posts that and thinks, "Oh, I fucking got him." They're in the death throes, and Star Wars is that now. And then you look at the fact that hey, all the shit going on with Galaxy's Edge and they stopped selling the Forces female t-shirts and like all these hardline so everyone's saying trying to make everything black and white, and then when it comes to the business aspect, a lot of these same things ending, that tells you all you need to fucking know. These are the death throes. A lot of people are either rescinding on what they said or they're doubling down hardcore. And it's at 100% where Star Wars is at. And then, after all that, we're supposed to come out with a trailer. It's like shit. That is a shitstorm that I am so glad to watch unfold. So,
well, speaking of like rescinding and changing the record, like since I've been gone, there's like talk of Ryan Johnson shit not happening again. And like it always compounds against him. It's not like 1 week it's going to be on and then 1 week it's off. It's like 1 week it's on, 12 weeks you hear it's going to be off, and then people say, "Oh, you never know." And another thing to jump off your point, you brought up Galaxy's Edge. You heard about the menu effort, how they changed it from Star Wars themed stuff to like generic food items, and people are speculating, oh, it's because they're going to rebrand the park, or there's the other side, oh, it's just to make it more simplified. But like, if you're gonna theme something and brand it, wouldn't you have planned these out, not to change it like 6 to 8 weeks since it opened?
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's and again, I think part of it is painting yourself in the corner. You waited until October to do all this shit. I can't say for sure that they bet on Galaxy's Edge being all the promotion that they needed. That's what I think, but I can't confirm that. But just all that, and then oh yeah, it's October. We're gonna have a trailer by Monday Night Football. Like fucking what? Like that can't be the business model for this shit.
Well, I mean,
what is
October's
happening?
inventory time at Statler Toyota, and that's important. But
That's
not
right.
this bullshit.
That's right. I've got all these wacky inflatable swinging arm tube dudes too. I gotta get rid of. So
That's not their tubes that are swinging.
Oh boy.
Sorry, we're
No,
not getting into this.
forgiven.
Yeah. I just, somebody posted how they think Star Wars is losing its magic. I think a lot of entertainment is losing its magic. Some people say, well, it's too corporate, and there are certain elements of things being too corporate when it loses its luster. Then there are certain things like a Star Wars of, let's say, 10 years ago, where it was all corporately mandated from one small corporation, but it still worked. I think all of geek culture is kind of on rocky ground, if that makes sense.
No, I think it does. It's on rocky ground, not because of some type of fatigue of geek culture. I think geek culture is on rocky ground because the people in charge of it, in terms of bringing it to film, bringing it to the silver screen, bringing it to the forefront of pop culture, they're doing a shitty fucking job. I mean, outside of the smaller level stuff, being a geek and watching movies right now is tough. Star Wars is in the shitter. Marvel is pretty much over, even though they announced Kevin Feige getting the promotion. That's pretty much over. You see they put all their eggs in Captain Marvel's basket. That's not paying off. Every other fucking geek culture thing.
Her purse.
Right. That's fucking shit show. Dark Phoenix fucking was a flop. That fucking ended fucking terribly.
That ended X-Men, which X-Men kind of had gotten better over the last 10 years.
It had, and fucking they killed it. They killed it, and it fucking sucks. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that everyone's kind of super excited about Deadpool right now, but it's like that's been done since the month after 2 came out. Like, that's not gonna save Marvel right now. So fuck, man, it's tough being a geek in terms of popular culture, but people in charge aren't doing a great job. They really aren't.
Well, to piggyback off of that, it's not so much. What it really is they had an audience. They had a target demographic that bought all their stuff, and then they decided, well, we need to change our product to appeal to a bunch of other people that aren't into our stuff. Those people aren't into it, and in the process, you're driving away your fan base at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
no, that's fair. I think
perfect example. Perfect example is NASCAR. I'm not going to get too much in the detail, but when you think NASCAR, you think rednecks driving really fast going left, because that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But they saw there was money in it. If we can get more women to come to the races, if we can get more people from up north, if we can get the big city people into it, if we can get everybody into it. So they changed the way they marketed it. They changed the way they did a lot of things. And if you watch a race, half the grandstands are empty. And there's a reason. It's been dying a slow death because nobody wants to fucking deal with it anymore. And they drove away and alienated their fan base. And that's what's going on with geek culture to a degree, is that you had an audience. You had people that came to your movies. You had people that bought your stuff. And what did they do? They said, you're not good enough. We need their money too. And we're going to change what you're into because we want to get them to come buy our stuff. And the people that are over there going, we don't want your shit. We're not into that. If I was into it, I would have been paying for it already.
Well, the funny example for me is like in the video game industry where they tried this about 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to attack the Call of Duties and this and that. Now, I'm not a Call of Duty fan. I've owned one game in the entire franchise that I paid for, and then I have the Modern Warfare remake on the PS4 because it was free. But it's like they went after that kind of stuff. And companies are like, it makes too much money. We're not going to bend the knee to people like that. And other things that made tons of money that were successful, they decided to bend the knee, and everyone just kind of walked away from it. And we're in a weird place, too, where you have companies that bend the knee to this phantom audience, or you have the people that, like, are super lazy. So remember the Fallout 76, was it? Yeah, Fallout 76 last year. Big debacle, how everyone was like, oh, this game's broken, this game's lazy, Bethesda screwed people over, they lied about the pre-orders, all these things. This year we got the WWE 2K fiasco where they haven't announced anything up until the other day. The game comes out in 4 days. It's broken, the graphics are bad. They had fired the production company behind the scenes, all this shit. Like, there's like, if you're a fan of anything that you buy merchandise for or you actively get involved, you're just kind of getting screwed either way. You're either getting really poor stuff that's lazy, or you're getting people that take the good stuff and they ruin it for like agenda. And I don't know, what do you think of those two options I've given you? What's more offensive to you? The people that infuse agenda and ruin it because of their ideology, or there are people that are lazy that make it bad because they're just lazy?
That's a good one. I think in terms of immediate, I think just straight up answering your fucking question, I'm gonna say the worst bit are the lazy ones, because there's no work that goes into it. There's no research. There's no effort, right? Because lazy for me entails, one, not changing with the times. Lazy entails, one, not taking effort in creating original stories and or expanding on original stories. And then obviously being lazy means that you take shortcuts to get the shit out there. Don't get me, the ideology bit is bad. It's 100% bad. There's no doubt about that, but I think that's something that will change and kill itself. You know, we talk about that all the time on the show. Typically when you are sacrificing quantity for, or quality, excuse me, when you sacrifice quality for ideology, you know, there's no money in that. You know, 9 times out of 10, when you're trying to be an idealist, you kill what you kill what you're trying to save, right? It's not, you're not doing it to make money. It's not going to make money. It's not going to become popular. It's you sacrificing yourself, you know, in an attempt to be a martyr. But being lazy, you're not adding anything new. You're not refreshing a property. You're not showing any ingenuity. And I think, especially in the long term, that's a hell of a lot worse than just doing the fad thing in terms of, oh, well, I seem cool because I'm ideologically changing the world around me. You know, that shit dies and people stop giving a shit about that. But not putting effort in, I mean, that, especially with shit that's been here forever, that's way more damaging.
Kendo.
I'm gonna go with the laziness too, because they see that the money's coming in, so it's like, we'll just, you know, let's look at the video game industry. Perfect example, EA.
Yep.
You look at there's a reason why if I play a sports game, I buy one from a while ago. You know, I have college football like 2006 or 7. I bought college baseball from like 12 years ago. There's a reason, because the games that come out nowadays, if you buy a game, you're going to get last year's game with a new paint job. That's all it is. There might be a couple of updated features here and there. I mean, perfect example is FIFA. I love the FIFA franchise. I would buy the new FIFA game just about every year. And then I stopped doing that around 2013, because it was, we're going to take away all the good stuff about the solo, you know, playing by yourself, and we're going to just invest everything into trying to get you to play online. I don't want to play online. I have no desire to play online and listen to some 12-year-olds that just learned the F word. And so I don't play online. And each year we're going to force more of it into what we want it to be, because that's where the money's made. Oh, and we're not going to worry about fixing or updating anything to do with the game. WWE 2K is another version. I mean, you give me 15 to 19, what's the difference? Maybe a couple of wrestlers here and there. Graphics are still pretty much the same. Nothing's changed. You know, they don't give you anything better. It's a new game with a new paint job. And that's what a lot of this stuff is it's okay, we can make a bunch of money off of this, and then we'll make a bunch more right after it, and it's just going to be paint by numbers, slap it together, throw it out there, the people will come.
Well, I think I'm the opposite of you guys. I think lazy's bad, but I think agenda's worse because it's dangerous, more dangerous. You know, for example, we'll just use the WWE 2K thing because that's the newest one on my mind. I can't stop reading how terrible this game is. But like, it's bad, but it only affects this one little thing. Agenda is bad because it's like, you had the Gamergate people, then it spread into the comics, and now it's just kind of it's permeated every part of geek culture. And now it's like, they go after Joker, they go after this, they go after that, and they elevate the shittiest stuff. People are like, oh, it's just marketing, it's just advertising from studios. Is it though? Because the studio that they could be promoting one day, one thing happened 20 years ago, and they're right after you too. So I think Agenda's dangerous. Lazy's bad, but Agenda's dangerous, and I have so many problems with that. Because it's like, I look at it like this with our channel. We're like a people's channel, the audience wants this. We talk about it. We go in depth. We have fun. It's it's a group thing. We just aim to entertain. We're not trying to subvert your expectations, or, as I learned from a movie I watched over the weekend, subliminally message you and do all these things to you. So that is why I think agendas are worse. But a lot of people are in the chat agree with me. I'm not going by that. I'm not going with that opinion for the validation of them, but I'm just seeing what a lot of people are.
No, yeah, for sure. No, yeah,
I think it can go another direction too, along with the laziness. Because even in movies, you got movies that are just straight up all CGI movies. To an extent, that's just laziness. Look at the Transformers.
Right.
But I think with laziness can also breed to the agenda thing, because with the laziness, it weakens the product, and it'll allow somebody to, maybe with an ideology driven mindset to say, hey, I have an
beep boop bop.
This will help. This will get your sales back.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. Yeah, for sure. I just think that, agenda is just so fleeting. Agendas change, depending on, what's trying to be popular, what's in vogue, all that bullshit, as opposed to agenda or laziness, which is it's universal. It doesn't matter what time period you're in. Everyone can spot when a movie or a comic book or a TV show or any property is being lazy. You can't. You could always chalk it up to whatever the motive is, but lazy is lazy. Agenda for sure is fucking terrible. You look at Batgirl right now. That's very clearly something that's being poisoned by agenda. But
it's just a crappy show that is being poisoned by agenda, and it's on the CW. We live in an era where we have big budget superhero movies every couple weeks. It's not even that's not a hyperbole. It's every couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Captain Marvel, a couple weeks later is Avengers. A couple weeks later was Spider-Man. Oh, now we're in Joker territory. Then we're going to be moving to Black Widow. It's like, blink and you'll miss one. I think Batgirl falls apart because it's a bad product in a bad time.
It's not Batgirl, it's Batwoman.
Oh, sorry.
Whatever, our bad. Fucking fuck it either way. But I think Batgirl is especially bad because I think the show is agenda for sure. The show is agenda, but you brought up a great point in that. You said it's the CW, and the CW is lazy. If you need an example of how, I think one reason why it's more lazy than agenda is because agenda can be a subset of being lazy. And like I said, Batgirl looks like Flash, which looks like Supergirl, which in turn looks like a shittier version of Vampire Diaries, which looks like a refurbished bit of One Tree Hill, which kind of is what Supernatural became. It's just all of their shit looks similar, and I think that's more laziness than agenda, and they fucking suffer for that big time, especially now.
We will never cover that show on this channel, folks.
Yeah, I have
no, dude.
No desire to watch Batgirl.
There was literally in during Joker, one of the trailers for Joker was, I need a new suit, and I guess it's supposed to be, Felix. Oh, well, what do you mean you need a new suit? It's perfect. She goes, it will be when it's made for a woman. I was like, what?
Yeah,
holy shit, that's heavy-handed. That is, I was like, I hadn't seen it till Joker. I was like, that is heavy-handed as fuck. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That
was in that original trailer. That's part of what set off the fucking shit firestorm.
But again, that's lazy, but the agenda is what keeps people talking about it. Why we get these preachy garbage articles from Forbes, from the Mary Sue. Oh, it's so important to society to have this represented. It's like, yeah, but make something good.
Right.
if you really want your message heard, you should not have to work extra hard, but you should be concerned that you want your stuff to stand on the quality of the filmmaking or the television show or the music or the game. It's not about the personal story of some shitty developer or somebody that coded it or whatever. It's like, I don't care. The end product is what people are going to remember. And if you're trying to teach a parable or have a small message or, have an analogy to this or that, make sure your product is so well done that people don't tear it apart on the agenda thing. They go, wow, that was a great story. And it was about, why we should go to this form of government or something. And you go, huh. And it'll make you think. I mean, if you're the person that's trying to change people's minds, give them something that they can relate to and like it. I'm not saying it has to be a political thing, just anything. If you want to open up people's eyes to certain types of relationships or whatever, tell a damn fine story and don't worry about looking for online validation for your piss poor product. So,
well, I think you hit it on the nail. I think the only thing I'd add is to be more specific. If you want it to be, progressive or whatever, you have to go after the people that don't agree with you. You don't change anything by adhering to the same people who agree with you all the time. That's not how change happens. Change doesn't happen when you are validating your personal beliefs in something. Change happens when you convince people who disagree with you. And since we're beating the shit out of this dead horse that's Batwoman, that's a perfect way to do it. If you again, it's the CW, so we know what they want to do. They want to adhere to the female aspect of entertainment, what have you. But if you want it to be when you validate, oh, this is a great show, you make it a great show when everyone wants to watch it, not just one particular fucking audience. And no one has ever changed someone else's mind by saying you need to like this. That's never fucking happened. Not in the history of any progressive era thing has that fucking been the case. You have to get people who disagree with you to fucking watch your shit. If you go back and look at old Marvel comics of the day, they had a certain message. And people today, it's funny. Some of the old Marvel stuff definitely had a message, but it was wrapped in such a tight story into great characters. They're like, oh, Spider-Man's promoting anti-drugs this month. Okay, but it's an awesome story about how Harry Osborn, almost, went too far over the edge and stuff like that, and it made it compelling and good. And that's what everything suffers from, be it Star Wars, be it Batwoman. There are very few exceptions. It doesn't concern itself with being good. Like when we talk about Joker, which I can't wait to talk about, but we're going to wait because we have to talk about Star Wars in China and Raylo and all this other garbage. I don't know. Daisy Ridley might not be as crazy as we all think she is.
Crazy diddly. I need another beer before we get into that stuff.
Well, you know what? You go get your beer. I'm going to read the super chats. Folks,
you do that.
I'd like to thank everybody who's been, sending these in the chat. We have 692 watching. Can we get 692 thumbs up? We have a good turnout for a Friday night stream. Kind of a last minute change due to my hitchhiking situation. But thank you for joining us. And Salvador, I see you in the chat pimping us out. Much appreciated. The Fixer sent in two. First off, he says, maybe Disney should make The Rise of Skywalker like The Death of Stalin. At least then everyone would know not to take it seriously. And he also says, if General Hugs and Ben Swallow are Colonel Clink and Sergeant Schultz, does that make Admiral Holdo like a Colonel Crittenden and Phasma like Major Hochstetter? Bah! So I'm going to wait for Kendo to get back for that one because he is the Hogan's Heroes aficionado of the channel, I would assume. Wouldn't you, Dion?
Yep.
Oh, well, shit. I'm the only one here right now. So I'll go back to those in just a moment, the Fixer. Disturbed Fan 0717. Productions. With all the news happening right now, this show is going to be lit tonight. Time to wreck Disney and another new one. Or wreck Disney, another new one. Party boob! Thank you, Disturbed Fan 0717 Productions. Muchly appreciated. Sir Billy Ritchie says tonight's episode brought to you in part by Slovakia's premier lens crafters, FEC Arts Industries. So I'm going to wait for the other guys to get back before we get too far into these. It's taken forever. That's why you bring a cooler to the table. Rookie mistake, Dion. Rookie mistake.
I have my headphones on. My kitchen's right over there.
I know the layout of your apartment. I've slept there many a nights.
Fucking judge me, you fucking large, attractive male.
You've been judged, all right? Kendo, are you back yet?
What? Almost.
We're judging him now.
You Appalachian motherfucker.
Anyway, Sir, Apocrypha says, congratulations on 140K subscribers. Party boob!
Party boob, baby.
Party boob indeed.
There you go, Kendo. So the Fixer made a point. You watch Hogan's Heroes, right?
A long time ago, and then Bob Crane got his head smashed in.
True, but you at least understand this reference. So Fixer says, also, if General Hux and Ben Swallow are Colonel Klink and Sergeant Schultz, does that make Admiral Holdo like Colonel Crittenden and Phasma like Major Hochstetter?
Yeah, they're all Krauts.
All right.
They were the bad guys.
Ah, okay. That show was way before my time. TLJ Screwjob says, you guys are live on a Friday? Can't watch since I'm doing a haunted trail / corn maze. Yay. Not
Those
my
are
idea.
fun.
Anyway, have fun guys / chat. We will. And hopefully when you catch us on the replay, you had a good time at your haunted corn maze. Because I kind of like
you messaging while you're out at a corn maze gets you fucking serious brownie points. That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah. Haunted corn mazes can be fun in the right circumstances.
As long as you're diddling a pretty lady or dude, whatever you're into.
Yeah, no judgment on this channel. Jared G Project says, what are your thoughts on Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? That's the video game. Ooh, damn, Dion's got a hot take. Let's hear it, brother.
All I will say is this, and everyone now knows whenever I say all I will say is this, I'm probably lying, but nevertheless, it does not look very good because the build up to the game, we were all kind of led to believe it was going to be a runoff, not runoff. That's a kind of harsh term, but it was going to be a slight divergence from Knights of the Old Republic. Everyone was super fucking excited for that. I was excited for that. Then we got this fucking white bread, run of the mill character, and then on top of that, we found that they're going to do like a runoff of the Darth Vader comic book where there was you're gonna have the Inquisitors, and then you're gonna have this not random, but this shitty white bread storyline, and then the shit comes out, and even though it looks good, where they were trying to mix in 1313 with fucking with the Force Unleashed, it just comes off as a goddamn forced attempt at more goddamn money by EA and Star Wars, and it pisses me the fuck off. Not to mention the fact that they knew what we wanted. They knew the people who buy video games, guys like our fans, guys like me, guys like Jeff, guys like Kendo, knew that we wanted either you bring back 1313 or you bring up something fucking new and exciting. And they gave us this goddamn bullshit where it's like, hey, it's going to be a cutscene fest, and it's going to be this dude with a haircut fighting a chick in a helmet. Like, God damn it, dude. And then they had the audacity to bring in the Inquisitors from the Darth Vader comic book series. You have Ninth Sister and Second Sister in the fucking game, and they're going to fucking bastardize. What about
Sister?
Or Sister Sled?
This ain't the WB. Yeah. I don't want Star Wars mixed with the WB and Tia and Tamara. Fuck that shit. I want a goddamn good Star Wars game. And sure enough, one more time, they gave us white bread bullshit with EA fucking emblems on the goddamn cover. And I hate it.
I don't trust EA. Like, that's like, if you're to say, check this game out, man.
Agreed. Amen.
Who made it? EA, I'd go, because like over the last, I'd say 15 years, I think I can count the amount of EA games I've purchased on one hand. Maybe none, because I got some James Bond games when they still had the license, but they dropped the ball around 2008 or 9, whenever the Quantum of Solace game came out. I guess it'd be 08, because it's mostly Casino Royale. But my point is, I don't trust EA anymore. I don't like their style. Oh, it's Activision, so I take that back. Anyway, I don't trust them. I don't trust their style. Their marketing for the last Star Wars game was legendarily bad. I mean, we had governments getting involved.
Yeah.
That never happened with Star Wars. It's like 2017 was the year the shit hit the fan. 2018 was the year everyone realized it. And 2019 is where we're all watching it get closer and closer to falling off the edge. It's like, Disney has so much money. We can't fight Disney's money, but they only have so much PR spin they can throw at us as the audience. It's like, hey guys, this game has a lightsaber. Okay, this game has this, but there aren't microtransactions, but it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, microtransactions, some people would say they're necessary. I say they're lazy because we live in an era where we get incomplete products. Like, you don't get an incomplete movie. You don't get an incomplete, I don't know, meal because you can bitch and get the rest of it. But like when you get the digital stuff, it's like it's never done. You know, your phone, they constantly update it, which is fine. It helps. But it's like with these video games, it's like, oh, there's a day one patch. Then there's this patch, and we're going to patch the patch because it had bugs in it. And like, remember back in the day when you bought a game and if it wasn't right, it was just broken, but more
Yeah.
than not, the game actually worked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I miss those days. And because EA has had such a colossal screw up, I don't trust them. So I know this is like the longest answer for a super chat we've ever gone into, but like I won't buy this game based on the EA principle. And I need to know if I ever do want to play it, I need to experience it for myself. And I need to see not storyline elements, but I need to know that if I'm spending $60, I'm getting $60 worth of a game. I'm not being sold a $60 logo that says Star Wars on it, because over the last 5 years, that logo means nothing to me. And I won't spend it blindly ever again.
Well,
Yeah.
I that's fair, man. And Kendo, feel free to jump in, especially because we're PlayStation guys. I know you're an Xbox guy.
I go both ways.
Ooh, my man.
Go ahead and clip that. You can use that to make fun of me later.
You dirty slut. God damn it. I knew I liked you for a reason, but I think that's an important distinction what you brought up, because I think that there was a lot of indication that EA changed Fallen Jedi because of the backlash from Battlefront. And I think that if anything, even as frustrating as it is that Fallen Jedi sucks, it's evidence to the fact that not buying their shit works, because with Fallen Jedi being so bad and being so lazy and being so run of the mill, it proves that, hey, even though we're still, we're waiting for the dawn to get brighter before it's got, the last few years it keeps getting darker and things are getting worse before they're getting better. It proves that, hey, these things have an effect, because they went to the well with Fallen Jedi, and you have the same bullshit, and it's one more instance of the shit not getting bought. Hey, maybe EA changes their fucking tune, man. Maybe Star Wars video games get better. Maybe we finally get shit, So, it's a rough turnaround, but I think this is more proof that this shit works.
I think we'll be waiting a little while for that one, because I don't think they're willing to admit defeat yet. They need to actually start seeing lots of profit drop off before they actually realize, hey, maybe we should do something different.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I hope. I'm going to read one more message before we get back into the main swing of things, because this is a non-Star Wars super chat that I'm dying to read. It comes from AJ Journeyman that says, Avengers Endgame kept poking fun at Back to the Future, yet Carl Sagan thought Back to the Future 2 was the best movie ever made based on time travel. Thoughts?
It's hard not to, I know I've said on the channel 2 is my favorite. And it barely beats 1, even though it's my favorite. I fucking love 1 and 2. But as much as I loved the references, I think Endgame was definitely the nerds Marvel movie. With all the references. I think that and Infinity War were the nerds. With all the references to Back to the Future and Star Wars and all the other comic shit in it. Oh God, I gotta agree. I think that it referencing 2 as the best one. Fuck, I gotta agree with that. I
don't know if I'd go as far as to say it's the best movie ever made. I know it's my personal favorite of the Back to the Futures, although I'll admit that the first one's a better movie. But the way they handle the elements of time travel, I would say they probably handled it better than any of the other movies about time travel, just because they don't play fast and loose with the rules like Endgame did and a lot of other time travel movies. Him going into the future caused a ripple effect to the past. We got, my hero, corrupt Biff. And then they had to go back. They figure out that, hey, something's radically different. So then they have to go back to where it started. And then there's the whole don't run into yourself thing. And I don't know. It created the potential for a lot of time paradoxes, but it fixed them and didn't allow them to happen. I would say not the greatest movie of all time, probably the best ever handling of time travel in a movie. I'll give you that.
I think that's what the question was. Just greatest. Oh fuck! Come on now. I think it was just the greatest time travel movie. I think it was not the greatest of all time, but the greatest time travel movie.
Then yes, just because of the way it handles the rules of what time travel more or less could be as if it existed, then yeah. Just because they handled it well. I'm just gonna go with that because I've already said my piece.
I like Back to the Future 2 a lot. There was a point in time where it was my favorite of the trilogy because it took place on my birthday. I always thought that was cool. It's like, oh, I'll be 27 when that movie takes place. Will we have flying cars, all this stuff? No, but we have a lot of the technology they do talk about in the film. That aside, I think it's a cool movie. I did get a little mad in Endgame when they kept taking pot shots at Back to the Future, but I also thought it was funny when how in the Marvel universe everyone still acknowledges like, oh, time travel works like in Back to the Future. It's linear. And I think when you tell a story where time travel is not necessarily like, yes, it's the driving factor in how Marty gets to where he gets, but it's the story of how his parents met and he interferes and all that stuff. And I think when you're trying to tell that kind of story that will have a universal appeal, you kind of got to make it simplified. The way Avengers Endgame went about it, it made it too confusing for the sake of being too confusing. Like, guys, if we ever make a time travel story, it's linear. Oh, we're here at this date, we can go back to this date to change something and fix it. We're not getting into the whole, oh, the past is my future and all this other bullshit.
Right. Yeah, that's the part where it gets really, that's where a lot of people run into trouble. And then they can use time travel as like a lazy plot device, but you have to make it linear, because if I go back into the past and I shoot myself, obviously I'm going to disappear. Or you could say, well, what was going to happen is I was going to travel back in time at this point and shoot my younger self. So linear works a little better.
Listen, and you guys know how I feel about fucking time travel in movies. I'm not going to dwell too much on it, but I will say that it's the same shit I always say. It has to make sense story-wise. You can do whatever with fucking time travel as long as the story is good. The thing that separates Back to the Future, especially 1 and 2, from other time travel movies is because it was an awesome story. So it didn't get overly complicated. 1 probably before 2 was the best one next to the fucking time machine. Like it fucking was very straightforward. He goes back, he changes his it wasn't him changing the world around him. 2 obviously expanded it, but it didn't get to, like, obviously it was Biff going back and it was about him getting rich and changing the future. It wasn't him. It wasn't complicated in that, well, what's the butterfly effect of him going back and betting on a game and what would that do? It didn't get too far up its own ass. It was still somewhat tight and controlled. And, I'm cool with doing anything with time travel as long as it fucking makes sense. That doesn't mean that you fucking do it all the goddamn time. And as much as I love Endgame, they're obviously, it wasn't a perfect use of time travel. So it's case by fucking case. You have to be careful with that shit.
Okay, let's move back into our let's go to Chinese Star Wars. What do you think of when I say Chinese and Star Wars?
I think that it makes some people look fucking stupid, and it's hilarious because as fucking weird as the Chinese market is, they don't play by the same bullshit rules. And I love the chaotic monkey wrench it throws.
Well, listen to this. The Hollywood Reporter is talking about how Lucasfilm wants to bring Star Wars to China. Check this out. It says Disney and Lucasfilm said a Chinese story is still in development, but it will introduce a new Chinese hero and will have combined native Chinese elements and the narrative style of Chinese literature to tell a Star Wars story. It comes as a surprise that Disney is taking this new approach to cultivate a bigger Chinese audience for Star Wars. Although the studio's most valuable piece of IP on a worldwide basis, the Star Wars franchise has been a curious underperformer in the world's most populous nation. So this, first off, I'm like, okay, where's Donnie Yen from?
He's Chinese.
Okay. So we had Donnie Yen in Rogue One.
Yep.
And that movie did fine, but I guess it didn't perform fine enough in China. Obviously Kelly Marie Tran's Korean?
Yeah, I think she's Korean.
Okay, so Rose Tico, Rose Tico's no one's favorite character. She's not going to sell tickets to anybody in any country. But the point I want to make is almost 2 years ago at this point, early 2018, I was making videos when other people weren't even talking about the Star Wars stuff about how China kicked The Last Jedi out in like record time. It dropped like 90% in a week and a half. And then by like week 2, it was almost out of all the theaters in China. Like people in the Chinese audience does not like Star Wars. It's never been historically the place to go for the Star Wars fandom. Japan, yes. Other parts of the world, Europe, yes, but not China. They said back then the excuse was, well, people didn't grow up with Star Wars. It was introduced in the prequel era. There isn't the emotional connection. That's cool. Lucasfilm, Disney, whoever listens to this show, because we know you do, believe me, we've met you in person. This is a terrible idea. This is one of the dumbest ideas you've had. Look, you fucked up the English-speaking audience by being dicks to us and producing bad stories. You're not going to trick, was it 1 billion Chinese people to go watch your crappy movies because there's a Chinese person in it. If they wanted to watch it, they would. Iron Man made all this money in China. Robert Downey Jr. is as white as they come. Transformers are fake, fictional fucking robots. People in China went to see it. It's not about, this is like identity politics on a global scale, but it's like the dumbest version of it. It's like, oh, we're going to cultivate ancient Chinese stories to tell Star Wars. It's like, if people liked it in China, they'd like it in China. Like, it's Star Wars. It's not going to work this way. What do you guys think about them trying to go to China and all this stuff?
They've tried and they've failed miserably.
Yeah.
So why would they keep trying? It's not going to work. Their agenda doesn't work in China. I mean,
yep.
I was going to say proof positive is the fact that the Chinese government won't let you say certain things that they might feel is counterproductive to what they've got going on. Look at the NBA.
Yep.
What's going on there? Just 2 minutes.
So a dude who was an executive for the NBA tweeted something that was in support of Hong Kong. And so the mainland Chinese government was like, hey, we don't like this shit. And they were leaning on the NBA to deal with this shit. And the NBA was kind of trying to toe the line while also trying not to be the company that's pro-Chinese government. And the fallout is happening, man. Like the Chinese government wanted the NBA to fire this guy. They said no. You know, LeBron James came out and kind of gave a politically correct response. And the NBA is still trying to navigate the minefield of not firing this guy while also promoting free speech. So it's been very interesting.
Right.
Well, I'll have to look up that story because that was just I just wanted to know the frame of reference. So there we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, but just I get that China's the big market they want to go for. But remember a couple years ago, they were going to the extreme, and they being Hollywood, studios. It was like, we're going to have alternate cuts of like Iron Man 3 has an alternate version where it has another Chinese character, and they try to do all this stuff. And then the Transformers, they had like weird Chinese product placement and all that stuff. And they moved away over the last couple of years where it's like, I believe China, their film presence in their own country is more prominent, and the people there want those stories. So to alter some of the stuff from the West just hasn't worked. And I'm guessing, based on what I'm reading from our friend Ichibaka, it just comes from we're desperate. Our theme park didn't work in America. People are revolting. We have to go somewhere with it. So we're going to go to the biggest market in the world, and hopefully people buy there. And I don't think it'll work.
It won't work because the idea of defeating an overpowering government for freedom is not going to fly. The Chinese government will be like, nope.
Yeah, because so they said in the article, let me just quote that. It says they'll cultivate, where'd it go? A bigger Chinese for the Star Wars saga by taking a new approach. They'll combine native Chinese elements and narrative style of Chinese literature to tell a story of Star Wars. That's a very loaded statement from the Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah, it doesn't really. I mean, are they saying they're going to make their own, just a set aside version of Star Wars just for China?
So this is just a blurb from the Hollywood Reporter. I could go deeper into the article, which I think I will. But it says Disney partners with Tencent subsidiary to build Chinese fan base for Star Wars, and it's they're on the Great Wall of China with about, I don't know, 200 stormtroopers.
I mean, a government militia putting down any dissidents would be something the Chinese government would support. So they probably would love that.
So first off, this is for books, but it moves into other stuff as well. So first off, we're gonna try to tell They've marketed ebooks from Star Wars novels to Chinese readers. Okay, that's fine. And then it talks about how they have so many people and how they don't know what the future is going to hold. They're going to change certain elements as well. This is weird. Like they're going to try to get like a ground or a grassroots approach to introduce Star Wars. Just come on, folks.
But that doesn't work because Star Wars is a story about oppressed people rebelling against the government and rising up to get, democratic freedom, which is the opposite of what takes place there.
Well, that's what's happening, I guess, with Star Wars.
Good luck, Lucasfilm. That's all I got to say about that. Good luck.
Yeah. Dion, do you have anything you'd like to say?
No, man. I think you guys hit it perfectly on the head. I just think that I don't think. I think the distinction that needs to be made is, if Star Wars had been done correctly since The Force Awakens, they would still be going to China. I think this is, and we say this all the fucking time. It's everyone's idealistic until the fucking money gets involved, and Lucasfilm does not give a shit about being progressive or being idealistic. They want that Chinese money because there's a lot of motherfucking Chinese asses sitting in Chinese seats watching Star Wars. And if Star Wars was done correctly, they would be somehow trying to pander to the Chinese market because it's that weird ass government over there trying to open the door business wise to movies and film, and that's a lot of fucking money, man. And it's very interesting watching the supposed idealistic progressive Lucasfilm trying to say all this shit over here, but still trying to get into the fucking Chinese market. You can say whatever you want to say about Rey and Holdo and Kathleen Kennedy, but they all want to get their movies seen in China, and they sure as shit are not going to sit over here and sacrifice that just to keep some people over here happy. And I love watching that shit play out. Putting their money where their mouth is, and their money sure as shit ain't on doing what they feel is right. It's getting those Chinese dollars, boy.
So another thing that keeps popping up is the Reylo romance. You guys think that's as dumb as I do, right?
Of course.
Probably dumber, but yes.
True. You know less about it and hate it more. I think that's an accurate statement. So you guys heard about what happened with Anna, right?
Yep.
How those crazy Reylo shippers went after her on social media and are just generally unlikable people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's a Yahoo article talking about Reylo and how Daisy Ridley says that The Rise of Skywalker will address toxic Reylo romance. Do you think it should address it? Or do you think they should just be like, this is dumb, stop indulging yourselves?
Yes, they should. They should just be like, yeah, this is a stupid thing that a bunch of fans came up with. It's not part of our story, and we're going to ignore it.
Kind of like how James Bond's a code name?
Correct.
Right.
I will never let that one go. That's stupid. But, no, like, I get that there's online stuff that people are into. We don't kink shame on this channel. We're not into that. But, like, Reylo's the oddest thing. It's like Harley Quinn and Joker when you try to promote it and have a positive spin for it.
Right.
I can't imagine people saying, oh, it's so great, it's so cute, it's so romantic. It's like, it's really not, and it's dark, and it's messed up. And I'm talking Joker, Harley Quinn, because I don't care about Reylo as much.
Yeah,
but
those were my favorite memes whenever I'd see girls post on Facebook. I just want a romance like Harley and Joker. It's like, no, you don't, unless fucked in the head. But
you're thrown out a window.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he did to her on the Mad Love episode. You feel for Harley Quinn. Here's the thing. You don't feel for either Rey or Kylo Ren because they're both shithead characters.
Right.
They're underdeveloped, poorly written. They have no purpose in the universe. It's like if you go back and watch The Force Awakens, it's like, I'll finish what you started, grandfather. It's like he kind of finished it himself. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to have him be tempted by the Emperor, which is dumb.
Yeah, no, his story arc was full circled. It was well and truly handled.
Well, and again, I think the distinction needs to be made when people make mistakes on what they when you make a movie based on what you think it is as opposed to what it is. Obviously for us, we all know his story was complete. the problem is they're trying to be like, oh well, he took the bad lessons from Vader, while at the same time regurgitating the story that we got with Vader. That's the problem. It's this need to try and tell a different story with the same ingredients. Like, bitch, it's not gonna work. That's the problem they're having. Is, hey, you can't tell us a different story using the shit you're copying from the original. That's what it boils down to. And it's just the same mistakes over and over again, and it's not showing anything different with this one. It's fucking, it's the definition of insanity.
Yeah, I mean, unless deep down Kylo's always just wanted to be clapping some Jakkui's cheeks.
I mean, sometimes you got to get that fucking staff going, bro. Just to use your staff for your own personal pleasures.
Is that sand in your bush? You just happy to see me?
By the way, we have over 750 watching, but we only have 320 thumbs up, folks. Pound that muff button, smash the melee button, lick the moist button. I don't care, whatever you want to call it. Just hit it.
Click the like button.
There you go. That's the most basic way to ask. Click the like button. We know you're here. Let YouTube know you enjoy the show tonight. So, our friend Cinevareth653 says, congrats on 140K. I've been watching since June of 2018. I'm going to be starting my own channel soon. Well, Cinevareth653, thank you very much for your generous super chat. And we know you've been here for quite a long time. And best of luck on your channel. And let me know when you go live. I'll subscribe to it. Itzer Ju says, broskies, I can legit not wait for this movie to bomb and yeet at Disney's stonks and love you. Let's see. Disney's stonks and we love you, Uncle Stanny. I don't know what that means.
All
yeah,
right.
I don't know who Stanny is.
I hope this movie, it'll be fun if that movie does underperform. We will have months and months to talk about the box office. It'll be like Solo all over again. Now, do I think it'll be Solo numbers? Hell no. We have never guessed that here on this channel. Ever. No. We're not stupid. Some people are like, I saw one of your videos once. No, you didn't. Because, you're just full of shit. Did you see that comic strip that's about the High Council?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah, they drew me as a white guy.
Oops.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a little pissed off. I'm like, if you're going to make fun of me, which I'm honored that...
You've been race swapped.
Yeah, I demand a fucking reboot with an accurate representation. I'll send you over pictures.
I mean, it's not like they're hard to find. You can find them all over the fan page.
It's like, well, my icon right here, this was made by a listener today. They took this picture of Superman I had as my profile pic, and they took a picture of me from the comic and turned it into WCBS Superman, I guess. So if you're watching, I think his name's Daniel. Thank you very much. But people are guessing numbers in the chat. I'm seeing 850 mil, 700 mil. I'm going to go 920.
I feel like I'm gonna go on the low side. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm sticking with 850. I think it's gonna do less, and it's just all the damage that's been done. I can't see it getting past that BVS number.
Yeah, I'm going with 900 even. I don't think it cracks $1 billion.
My thinking or my thought process is if that movie only makes $920 million worldwide in 2019, but when they launched it in 2015, it made $900 and something million domestically, that's going to be a huge slap in the face that the media will never write about. They'll always try to spin it. It still made so much money. Look at it rebounded from Solo's failure. Star Wars flies high again. It's like, no.
Right.
Yeah, no. I when we were talking on the lead up to The Last Jedi and predicting it, I said it was going to follow the same path as the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy with like a 2/3. So I was like, Last Jedi will probably do 2/3 of what the Force Awakens did, and I'm going to go with it. It's going to do like 2/3 of what The Last Jedi did. So I don't know what that breaks down to. Somebody can go ahead and tell me in the comments, but I think 900 million is a reasonable estimate.
How about $1 billion kajillion dollars?
I mean, that's not a real type of money, but okay.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe they'll pull a Captain Marvel and buy like all those movies theaters, 25 seats.
They buy out every opening night screening throughout the entire world, and like we can't get tickets. Like, what the fuck? And we're standing in line for like the 11:30 show, and like nobody comes out of the 9 o'clock.
You know, I know what time they just released the show times for the movies. So, what day are you getting here?
The day before.
Okay, cool. Because Dion, you'll need to leave work early to get here in time for the movie.
Yep. I'm planning on probably leaving around like 11.
Okay, good. Because this movie is so long that the first screening starts at 6 o'clock.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Now I'm pulling the episode 8. And I'm showing up the day before.
Cool. We'll go to.
I'm so hype. No, because I don't want to drive in that day.
Yeah, I'm fed up with this world.
Yeah.
Dr. Ian Malcolm says, "Have you listened to the Disney World Gondola 911 calls? The Orlando Sentinel reported on it." I have not even heard about that, but I'm going to take a screenshot.
I don't know what that is.
I guess a Disney ride broke down and people called police.
I mean, I would, just because I'd be like, "Help! Disney's kidnapped me.
Mickey's put me in a dangerous, precarious position." I'll check those out, Dr. Ian Malcolm. I watched Jurassic Park this past week for the second time in my entire life. It's a good movie.
Yeah, told you.
Finally saw Casablanca. And finished Firefly and Serenity. So I liked that show. The movie pissed me off to no end. Beamer says, "I disagree with you, Dion. I think the ideology side is worse. Ideologies will defend their ilk right to the end. Lazy people can be fired."
Got him.
No, I mean that's not unfair. I think it's very true. I think lazy people definitely can be fired, but I think in terms of ideology, it's somewhat easy to disprove it. I mean, someone idealistic making a change to a movie, making a movie based on that ideology, it's very easily when it doesn't make money, it doesn't make fucking money. As opposed to lazy, that's something that festers. That's something that is a lot harder to overcome. Even you get a lazy director and a lazy producer, or a lazy studio. They can keep doing things in a lazy way, as opposed to something that's based on someone's agenda. That once it doesn't make money, people move on. The agendas change, and with lazy people, that shit can poison not just an entire fucking movie set, but beyond that. And it's I think a lot in terms of lasting and its longevity. Laziness fucking keeps going.
Oh, okay. People are telling me about the Disney ride. The transportation system broke down and people were stuck there for 3 hours or so. 11-year-old girl called her mom epileptic. Little girl freaked out. Oh, geez. There's all kinds of stuff.
Jesus, this is a Galaxy's Edge?
I know this is a gondola system at the Disney park.
Oh, shit.
Can't blame Galaxy's Edge for everything.
Yeah, just most things.
I want to.
You're right. Firefly was amazing. I don't include Serenity. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone that wants to get into that show, but like when I was out in California, Jesse's like, "I'm going to show you my favorite show. We're going to watch Firefly." And I thought, okay, I like Nathan Fillion. I like Alan Tudyk. I'll give this show a watch. First episode was really hard to get through. Not really hard. I take that back. It was okay. Second episode was really good, and then I enjoyed every episode more and more. And then I watched the series, and I went, I wish there was more of this to watch. And then I watched the movie, and I said, I'm glad it's done. So, yeah, Salvador, you know what's up, man. You know what's up with that. Our friend Stratos Radio Blues sent in $5. Thank you very much, Stratos Radio Blues. The Fixer says, "I don't think Disney has ever heard of the 7 Ps. Prior proper planning prevents piss poor
performance. Yep.
I always think of that Kevin Smith documentary that they make fun of Kendo and the snowball effect when they talk about piss poor planning.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys heard about Kevin Smith's movie? How it's actually getting decent reviews and it's pretty much sold out across the country?
The Jay and Silent Bob one?
Yeah.
Wow.
No fucking way. For real?
No, I don't really give this website too much credibility because they once rated a game because it had too much water. But IGN gave Jay and Silent Bob a 7 out of 10. They said there was a lot of heart to it. And then they had 2 nationwide screenings this past week of the film. And the rest of the time it's on the road show where Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes show up to your town and they talk about the film with you after you watch it. And it's pretty much sold out for the rest of this year. So good for him, I guess. I wanted to see it when you told me the idea, Kendo, like 2 years ago. I was like, this sounds like the coolest movie ever. And then I saw a trailer and it looked like shit. So,
oh yeah. When I saw that the idea had been pitched, that they were essentially lampooning the whole idea of reboots and things like that in Hollywood, I was like, this done right, Kevin Smith could make a really great movie out of this. And then we saw that trailer and it's like, on second thought. And so I don't know. Hopefully it is. I want it to be good. I really do, because I love the View Askew universe minus Chasing Amy. But I'll still watch it because I want to see if it actually is any good.
let's see. Our friend Girthy Gamer SD says, "You say it's your birthday? It's my birthday too." Yeah, I can't sing it, or else the Beatles will come and get us.
Yeah, the ghost of John Lennon will shoot you and then read Catcher in the Rye.
That sounds like a Mortal Kombat fatality.
Well, I mean, it was a real life one in 1980.
Oh,
What, too soon, Dion?
I mean, 40 years. When is the grace period over for you, Dion?
I won't say too soon. I'll say shady.
All right.
Very
Well,
shady.
Yes, Girthy Gamer. Its birthday's on Monday, so that's the official anniversary of the channel. For folks, if you ever wondered when this show started, October 21st, 2015, the day Back to the Future took place. So there you go, part 2. Not a Band account says, does hashtag Raylo have a chance with the inspiring finale? Or a chance in the inspiring finale? I hope the only chance they have is one of them gets thrown down a reactor shaft and Wedge Antilles shoots the other one.
I could go with that. I just hope we don't have like this epic climactic scene that ends with him kissing, and then he decides he wants to be a good guy, and then the final shot is the two of them stand there in their Jedi robes, looking out over dual setting suns over the Tatooine. I will throw whatever I have in my hand at the screen.
You know that's gonna happen, dude.
We now have a 10th ending to the movie. It's now being reshot. JJ got it. He's like, oh shit, that would be even better. That's good shit.
All right, Vince.
Imagine him writing a Star Wars movie.
It would be better than what we have.
Yeah, fucking Roman Reigns comes in, Superman punches every fucking Sith.
When you live in a world where Roman Reigns in a Star Wars film isn't the worst idea based on what you've actually seen in a Star Wars film, you need to reevaluate your shit.
Yeah.
I am okay if Roman Reigns were to pop up and like punch, I don't know,
Spears Kylo
Ren right out of the fucking picture, and then Randy Orton punts BB-8. That would be awesome.
That would probably be, folks. If you want to know how to save Star Wars,
Book
that
it
ending
WWE
right
style.
there. Yes.
Well, okay, so we're talking about how there's these rumored 8 finales or 8 endings. So they're trying to like not just one up Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, but like didn't Lord of the Rings have like 4 endings, like possible endings or whatever?
Yep.
So this one's gonna have 8. So they're kind of just double it up. That's gonna be stupid. I don't like the idea of like a movie is so overproduced that you have 4 things that can end the movie. It's like with the original Star Wars. It's like, how do we end it? They save the day and they march on and they get their medals, and that's the end of the film. It's like when I hear shit like this, it only furthers the point that I always like to make. They don't have an overlining or an overarching story for this trilogy. They never have, they never will. And it's just a corporate product. It's just, oh, hey guys, we always have had this great thing. That's why there's 8 different options. It's like when we go to Subway. Would you consider Subway the best sandwich you can get? No. Well, I have 8 options for cheese. That's great, but it's still a shitty sandwich. Maybe you prefer at Jimmy John's where you have that one pre-made sandwich type. And you're like, okay, I can get into that. But at least all the meats and the cheeses go together, and it was thought out, the flavor profile. With Disney, Star Wars, it's just like, we're going to slap it on the bread, throw it out there. Some people will eat it up. A lot of people will eat it up. But then there are a lot of people who don't like, horse fibers in their chicken. So,
yeah. And then while they're screaming at you, eat your fucking sandwich.
Dave.
Yeah.
Imagine Jim Ross narrating A New Hope as Han Solo swoops in to save Luke in the trench run. By God! By God! Sorry, I gotta read that. By God! Solo's back in business.
It's Solo, Kang.
Dude, I have gone through and listened to so much Girl and JR on my
It's a good
ride.
show.
It's the best podcast. I fucking love it.
Dude, even the stuff like the one, it was like Ric Flair versus Ronnie Garvin. That's before
Yes.
even my time. And I'm still like, I'm listening to this because Jim Ross is so damn entertaining.
I love JR. I would love to meet him, shake his hand, say you are the voice of wrestling, and I enjoy when you rip into the WWE regularly.
Oh, it's so nice. I love it. It's great. Well, he has every reason to. They totally bent him over. Why wouldn't he want to fire shots back?
I'm with JR, man. I stand with JR.
That's right. Hashtag run with Harriet. Hashtag I stand with JR. Let's get it trending.
Agreed. Amen.
So,
My God.
By God, I stand with JR. I'm going to tweet him that right now.
Tweet it and then you do it with our official Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, we are pro Jim Ross on this channel.
Very much so.
So we like to always talk about our friend Ichibaka and his website, Disney Star Wars is Dumb. Ichibaka puts a lot of time and effort into compiling a lot of Star Wars news, rumors, speculation onto a nice digestible package. Much like, bounding into comics, they're really a great source for your just your news and stuff like that. So in terms of the 8 Star Wars endings, I saw this and I thought, oh God. So Jordan Mason is a official top Star Wars artist. And he tweeted, oh, there's a random freebie. At one point, up to 8 different endings have been / were tested for The Rise of Skywalker, #Star Wars. Now, to be fair, he does elaborate and says how, I should be a tad more clear. I guess these wouldn't be separate and distinct endings from one another. They're slightly different. But he says, trust me, folks, I had the scoop on 8 alternate endings being shot / tested for The Rise of Skywalker, and I wouldn't be giving it away on Twitter. So if he had it, he wouldn't give them all away on Twitter. So let's just play the hypothetical game. Let's have fun on this show. That's what we always do. Let's say there are 8 endings for this film. Folks in the chat, you can play this game as well. That's what we do. We, have crowd interaction. What is based on, and give an honest answer, Dion Kendo, based on what we've seen in the last 2 films, what's a possible ending that you think Disney might test?
I think that based on the way things are going, I think they're going to go for a carbon copy of Return of the Jedi. I think they're going to have, some Emperor-esque character, even if it's not the fucking Emperor himself, trying to get Rey to do something. She refuses. She essentially does the rage Luke Skywalker bashing on Ben Solo's lightsaber. And I don't know if she cuts his hand off, but she beats his ass. And then at the end, she gives herself up and she gets force lightninged. And I don't think he picks him up, but I think he force throws him off of a ledge or some shit. And we get a carbon copy. 100%. I think that's what fucking happens.
Kendo?
Well, 2 things. One, World-Class Bullshitters Twitter account now officially follows Jim Ross, and we tweeted to him. Secondly, John Whalen, our late night McRibs good. McRibs anytime are good.
Yes.
And Dion's probably correct, so I'm going to go with the ending of Rey and Kylo are duking it out. Emperor's sitting there looking on. He wants Rey because for some reason he thinks she's attractive. And he goes to force lightning her. Kylo jumps in the way. It goes up his ass. He becomes even more swallow, and he explodes the Death Star. They all die, and the Ewoks dance.
I'm going to say if we're getting Return of the Jedi 2, we're going to get Force Ghost Luke and Leia, and then we're going to somehow see Han Solo, and the fucking idiots in the audience are going to go, yeah! And people are going to start crying, and they're going to get on Twitter, and they go, it was so great, it was so emotional. And I'll be like, that makes no sense. First off, that's not how the Force works. Han Solo told you many years ago. But I honestly think that's what they're going to do. We're going to have Force Ghost, Luke, and Leia, and Han Solo, and that's how the movie's going to end.
Oh, I want to amend mine slightly more. We will have a line from Rey that says, I am the Force.
Oh, okay.
And I want to put that one in stone, that's going to happen at some point. Something's going to be said to her about knowing the true power of the Force, and she's going to say something to the effect of, I am the Force.
I like it.
I will put a Duke's Brothers bet with each of you that happens.
Oh, you're going to
make that bet, sir.
No, with you guys, not the people listening.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to make $3.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, Nick's not here, so he can't take the bet.
I'm trying to think of more. Oh God. So I
gonna be
really am
bad.
gonna stand by the Force Ghost of Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker like reuniting.
That's gonna happen. You know that's gonna happen.
100%. I think that's what that hug. I think that hug between her and Leia is a Force Ghost thing for sure.
Oh God. Okay. So I think the Emperor will be defeated, much like Return of the Jedi 2, where okay, so we know there's going to be this big space battle between fleets of Star Destroyers and
Battle.
X-Wings and Y-Wings and A-Wings. A space battle, like we say. I think Lando's also going to pilot a ship in the battle, like he did in Return of the Jedi.
Dude, yes, 100%. 100%. I see,
Yeah.
I'm going to go as far to say they're going to copy it, but this time it's going to be what you thought was going to happen in Return of the Jedi. I think him and the Falcon are going to get blown up. I think he's going to sacrifice himself in the Falcon to actually save the day, as opposed to that's the ingenuity. They're going to do, hey, remember that shit you thought was almost going to happen in Return of the Jedi? It happens in our movie, thus it's different. I think that's what's going to fucking
Hey,
go down.
Dion, you remember that maneuver at the Battle of Tanab? And then Lando goes, pull it off, and they die.
Yeah.
Oh, we
No.
heard about it, Lando. We fucking heard about it.
Yeah, he's gonna kamikaze himself like into the power core of the super mega sex nuts Death Star that they're gonna have for this edition.
Instead of the Star Killer, it'll be the Galaxy Killer base.
Oh, I like it. It sounds stupid enough to be real.
What if there's the ghost of Jabba the Hutt?
Dude, I'm gonna throw up in my fucking mouth if that happens.
Dude,
Okay, how about this? All right, so right as it all ending, and you think, yeah, this is the end of the movie. All of a sudden, before it goes to credits, you just hear, oh, and then like they show us a Force Ghost Jabba the Hutt, and then roll credits.
A slug ghost.
Yeah, that might work.
I only think that'll work if there's a Force Ghost Salacious Crumb.
Oh, naturally, you have to have that. And then what's his name? Bib Fortuna.
K-Wanawanga.
Yeah. The whole fucking sail barge is a Force Ghost at this point.
Dude, why not everybody our main heroes killed?
Yes.
So, like,
they're all Force
Boom,
Ghosts.
might as well. Fuck it.
And then at the end, Ponda Bob's arm just starts waving to the cat.
If you were killed by a Jedi using the Force, you're now a Force Ghost. That's how it works. The Force was injected into you, and then you've gone off to the paradise of the Force.
And then it's Boba Fett's headless body going, that's all, folks. And
it rolls away.
Yep.
Hashtag still better than Disney Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I would kill for that ending where they all just are back. Like Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen are just like, remember in Beetlejuice, how when you go to the other side, you look how you died? There's just like two skeletons like just dancing in the back. You're like, hey, it's the Lars family.
Dude,
folks.
that'd be so dark.
She's like totally
so
bitching
good.
at him. Like, I told you not to buy them damn droids. Shut up.
There was hell to pay. Our lives. Just
Where's my blue milk?
Oh my God. Or like they're saying in the chat, all the Force or the kids Anakin killed.
Oh, the younglings.
Padme shows back up. Darth Vader's wiener attaches back to his body.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's there. It's a Force reunion spectacular.
Come here, Padme. I'm going to give you this burnt hot dog, baby.
Yeah, and it ends with them all just like dancing together and a bunch of Force Ewoks.
Oh, God. They're playing Force Stormtrooper helmets.
Yeah.
Force Ghost Stormtrooper helmets.
Dude, listen to this. The entire planet of Alderaan is a giant Force Ghost.
Dude, you know what we need?
Oof.
Here's what I'm proposing this right now. We got 2 months until this movie comes out. Literally tomorrow is 2 months. I say we create a thing like everybody's a Force Ghost. So like we redo our avatars as Force Ghosts. And like I encourage all of you listening to like take whatever it is, picture of yourself, make yourself a Force Ghost, and then on any biography, just every day, hashtag Star Wars, I am a Force Ghost.
Hashtag I am a Force Ghost. I like it. Hashtag, get it going. Hashtag I am a Force Ghost.
Yes, we're all Force Ghosts in the Lucasfilm Disney Star Wars universe.
I'm gonna change mine to hashtag I'm a Space Ghost just to fuck with you, Kendo.
I mean, I'm not going to complain about that. Space Ghost Coast to Coast was great.
Mm-hmm. But yes, we'll have our Force Ghost Macho Man Randy Savage as well.
Oh, dude, that would save the movie for me. You know, folks, you want to know how to save Star Wars? Have Macho Man show up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Dion, you know that Macho Man shirt you have that you got for Father's Day?
Yep.
My Rock one came in the mail.
Oh, dude, we got to do something for fucking New Year's in them.
Deal. I'll get a jacket or something, and we'll
Wait.
What?
So we have all the Force Ghosts, right? And
Yes.
this is how you kick off Ghostbusters 3 in the post-credit scene. All the Force Ghosts are saying they're dancing, you know, getting jiggy with it. And then the fucking Ghostbusters roll up, start busting their asses.
I'm down.
Folks, that's how you say Star Wars.
No one's ever really gone. Since it's good and bad guys, does like half of Darth Maul's body come back?
Just the legs.
Just the legs.
Force Ghost of fucking.
It's a comedy scene of him chasing after his legs, and his legs are running around. It's like a fucking Looney Tunes.
Yeah, he's like the WB frog.
Yeah,
Michigan J Frog.
Yep, but just fucking legs, all Force ghosty and shit.
Anakin's mom could come back too.
Shmee.
Yeah. The whore that started it all. Force Ghost Anakin opens up a door because he hears his mom. He's like, "Mom, is that you?" She opens it up, and there's like a bunch of Force sand people just nailing her.
They're the ones that Anakin killed in the real world. This is their other side.
It's that little white boy from
Force Ghost Watto's filming it.
It's the little white boy that was in episode 3. Master Skywalker, what are we gonna do? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fuck you up.
It's got to be so awkward for Anakin. He's like, "Hey guys," and there's just
he's like, "Whoops,
Mom, they did things to you." "Oh, I did things to them too."
Oh, see, that's some deep down shit right there.
Yeah, that's how you mess with his brain.
It's a little extra deep.
She didn't get kidnapped by the sand people. She joined them.
She got spit roasted by the sand people.
That's right. Wow. Filled out like an application.
What about another ending, like a legit one? Because we honestly each gave one or two legit endings.
Personally, I like our not legit endings way better. Those sound like far better movies.
Yeah, no shit. We're always gonna come up with better stuff off the cuff than.
I mean, the train is no brakes, rolling downhill as fast as possible towards the ravine. At this point, let's just let it fly off.
I'm
just trying to think. Like the characters aren't interesting.
So I'm gonna. Okay, so I'll say this. I will say that if I'm allowed to change certain aspects of the story so far, I will say that there is no emperor. That's a marketing ploy. I will say that them going to the remnants of the Death Star, whatever the fuck, how it somehow survived plummeting to a fucking planet, is going to be some Joris Kabaev-esque villain. I think that the whole scene with Evil Ray is another Force vision or whatever. That her fucking her being evil is what they face, is some type of Jedi trial, and I think that she barely wins in order. This is me saving it. She doesn't win. This is finally a task she can't do on her own. She needs Finn and Poe and them to beat it. I think the perfect way to end it is somehow Chewbacca helps save her at the last minute. They beat whatever evil wannabe Sith Lord is there, preferably, like I said, a Joris Kabaev type villain. And then it's the rebellion and the New Order. The New Order finds this Phantom Katana fleet and they overcome it. And then they finally show the rebellion resistance thing taking back the galaxy. That's how I'd save it somewhat.
Oh, I wasn't asking you to save it. I was just, what do you think could happen within the realm of what we see, not about saving the movie?
Oh, fuck that. If realm of what we see, I think we see a dumpster goddamn fire and some funny ass, goofy ass Emperor Sidious jumping around like a fucking monkey spider with a lightsaber. That's what we some goofy shit, son.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with. We're at least gonna get her saying, "I am the Force." We're gonna get. We're gonna find out that she's actually Luke's daughter, and she's gonna pull the whole I'm a Jedi like my father before me" bullshit line. We're gonna get that. And she's gonna save the day, and the Ewoks are gonna dance.
Okay, yub nub all the way, my friend.
That's
right. So let's see what some of our listeners have been saying. Joseph Bienowitz says, tired of forced female heroes. Tomb Raiders, circa Angelina Jolie was a good example. Do you think he means as in like a good example of a good female character, or that she was forced?
I think that he means that she was forced, because if fucking Angelina Jolie is a good character, is what your example is. That's those movies were not a shining example, my friend. Outside of Gerard Butler randomly slapping her in the mouth in the second one, that shit was so awkward.
Didn't see it. Walked out of the first one.
We gotta get drunk and watch it. Like the second one is really fucking bad. Like I said, the ending is just awkward. Because it was the second one was Cradle of Life, where it's her, Gerard Butler's in it, and he like at the end of the movie, like he's a fucking piece of shit, and he just like they have the whole she's in love moment, and he's just like slapping her in the face and shit. It's like, what is this?
I take it as him saying that. I guess Lara Croft was like a great female hero that wasn't forced. Not necessarily. I guess he's saying maybe the cutoff was with Angelina Jolie because those movies were not good. So, I mean, yeah, Tomb Raider, Lara Croft was, I guess, a good female hero that wasn't forced because, you play through the games to do, things. You don't automatically start with 100 stats and can do everything. You have to, work your way up, I believe.
No, she gets her shit pushed in the newer games.
Yeah.
Sire J Longstroke, thank you very much. He says, here's $5 for some cool bros and not for Disney. The Fandom Menace is more profitable than Disney social justice wars. Drinks are on me, guys.
Thanks.
Good man.
Dion, I'll be getting you your 12-pack of White Claw as requested.
There's no loss to claws, bros.
Hashtag White Girl Wasted.
Hey, Kendo, Greg Hardy's fighting right now, and he's down around.
Shock. You mean somebody that wasn't a trained cage fighter is losing a cage fight? Call me surprised. Best in the world.
Our friend Apocrypha says, any updates on Brie Larson and Captain Skidmark 2?
You ain't getting it from fucking Marvel because that movie's not on the list, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I want a Captain Skidmark t-shirt.
Make it.
She does her own stunts, Captain Skidmark.
Yeah, we have the power.
She has the skids.
That's how Sam Jackson really lost his eye.
Yeah.
A nasty case of intergalactic pink eye.
Oh.
Ugh.
And that's how Two-Face was born, folks.
Damn.
Anyway, Stress Radio Blues says, remember the X-Men episode covering Christianity with Nightcrawler? Great way to convey a message without being preachy. Stratos Radio Blues, I do remember that.
That's a great example.
I watched that episode not 2 months ago. That's one of the better episodes. It blew me away when Wolverine started to pray. I was like, what? And then I thought about it. I'm like, I was really sad that they would never be able to do anything like this in a kid's cartoon or any piece of media without being ripped apart. It's not about promoting one side or the other. It's just showing, different complex characters. And sometimes like, wow, even that character holds that belief. So
yeah,
I remember that.
Complex storytelling, man.
Joseph Bienowitz also says Hot Tub Time Machine, I guess in regards to the Carl Sagan Back to the Future 2 is the best time travel movie.
I mean, that's probably my personal favorite time travel movie.
God, that's a great movie.
It is a great movie. We've already watched it for the channel over on Patreon.
We have, and I loved every second of it. But I always love watching Hot Tub Time Machine because it's fantastic.
It is a great movie. I wouldn't change a single. Dion and I saw it in theaters, and we were blown away by how good it was.
Yes, we were, man. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I was
not
like,
a,
this looks like the
Go ahead.
stupidest movie ever. I was gonna say, I saw it, and I was like, man, this looks like the stupidest movie ever. And I didn't watch it. My buddy's like, dude, you have to watch it. And I watched it, and I was like, oh my god, I was so wrong. See, I can admit when I'm wrong. It's not often, but I can't.
Okay.
That's happened. Oh God. Not a band account says, could Ray come out? Sorry. The One says, can we agree that Daisy Ridley is looking healthy?
In the trailers, or you mean like now in the fucking build up to the movie? Because she looks pretty standard Star Wars chick in the teasers.
Did she gain weight or something?
There was a picture of her not too long ago that looks like she's, actually been eating in her entire dinner and not throwing it up afterwards.
Good for her. Live long and prosper.
That's right.
Outside of Star Wars. Not a band account says, could Ray come out and romance Leia or New Girl?
What?
Well, Leia's dead.
Yeah.
So that would be
romance. You better watch your fucking mouth. Don't do that shit. See, if you're trying to piss me off, that's what you do to piss me off. Don't do that shit. That's why. Fucking why? Even that's a joke. I don't even think about that. Don't joke about romancing fucking Leia. Even the assholes can't pull that shit off. That's bullshit. I ain't gonna stand by for that shit. I'll tell you that right now.
I mean, we haven't had necrophilia in the Star Wars universe yet, and it is a dying art. I'll see myself out.
Dying art.
Wow. I step away for 1 second and we go there. I like it.
I like it.
Crossbreed is yours. To answer the actual question, I feel like it would be a little weird if all of a sudden it's like, hey, I've had no interest in any human connections, and now this. It's like, that's fine. If she was going to be a lesbian, have her be a lesbian the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of one of those things. It's you start it from the beginning. You don't just inject it towards the end to say, I'm all powerful. I'm a woman. I'm strong. I'm independent. Oh, by the way, I'm into chicks. It's like, oh, all right. Well, that's kind of an 11th hour injection into the storyline, but okay.
Yeah, it seems like one of those things where they're trying to insulate themselves from criticism. It's like, you don't like this character? Is it because she's a lesbian? It's like, no, because the movies have sucked for the last 4 years. Her orientation doesn't matter. It's just a bad movie.
We disliked her before she was a lesbian.
Right.
That's how you know I was one of the cool kids. Crossbreed Azure says, the NBA isn't the only company getting backfire from the fans. You should see what happened to Blizzard because of what they did to Blitz Chung.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a hell of a story. That's the main reason why I haven't gone back to Vanilla WoW. All my buddies have and everything, but then I saw what Blizzard did. I'm like, nope, not giving them money.
What happened?
So apparently, I don't know. I watched the Medicare streams on these, and I'm trying to remember the exact storyline. Essentially, this guy won a competition, and he was due all this money, and he made a political statement about Taiwan and whatever, and the Chinese government pressured Blizzard into essentially banning the guy and refusing to give him his prize. So he lost. He didn't get his prize money. He got banned. So in other words, the Chinese government didn't like what was going on and didn't like the guy making the statement about, Taiwan, freedom, independence, and all this stuff. And Blizzard caved to the pressure of the Chinese. So an American company caved to the pressure of a Chinese government. And then it was Hong Kong. I'm sorry. There's a bunch of other stuff. Essentially, it's been a big furor, and people are pissed off because Blizzard sided with the Chinese government.
Wow. Well,
and then also, apparently, the leader of China, he bears a striking resemblance to one Winnie the Pooh.
Oh,
and
yeah.
People have made a shitload of Zinnie the Pooh memes, and those are also all banned in China. You can't find those in China.
I think I know what I'm doing after the show.
Yeah, go. Yeah, I was gonna say you can go if you want the real story of it and everything. Medicare covered it really, really well. Just find a Medicare archive channel and watch his last 2 streams because they It covered it way better than I could ever hope to.
Our friend Carl Page says, "Hi guys, just joined in. What's happening?" Well, Carl, welcome to the stream. We've been talking about. We started with the Rise of Skywalker trailer. It's supposed to drop Monday. Then we covered some possible endings and some Reylo stuff. And yeah, it's been a pretty solid show. It feels like we're at the end, but we're not. Zaire says, "Happy 4th anniversary." Well, thank you, Zaire. That seems like a good time. Any other memories that stand out of the show, Dion, besides that Steve Harvey episode?
Oh, you knew what I was going to bring up. One of the bigger ones for me, obviously, was, obviously we would do the round tables and we would do the, themed, group segments. And I think one of the standouts was us fixing DC. And for me, obviously I'm very biased to my solution, but that one had a lot of fun. Listen to everyone, even in some ways those other goobers that are no longer on the show. Everyone's take on fixing DC, and I think that was the episode where my hatred of Zack Snyder blossomed into an actual thing. So that's
violence at this point,
right. It's ingrained in the show. But yeah, that's probably the other one outside of Steve Harvey, my favorite episode that sticks out.
Kendo, what was the favorite episode that you've appeared on?
Oh, that I've appeared on? Shit, they kind of all start to run together after a while.
Thank you. That's how it is for me. I don't remember almost anything we've covered.
The funny thing is, I remember more about the episodes before I was on it than since I've been on it. Like if you're like, hey, you remember what happened on episode 150? No. Like I remember episode 100, but for all the wrong reasons.
Oh God, that's terrible.
Like I said, I some of my favorite moments from the show come before I was even a part of it. Episode 69, because I was a listener of the week, because I bought your shirts. Episode 81, I believe it was the Linkin Park episode.
Oh God, hanging with Linkin Park.
Yeah, mainly because I had influence over the title card, because you sent me 2 title cards, and I was like, one is the most topical but will raise a lot of pulses. 2 is it's just a fat dude dressed as Mystique and body paint for Comic-Con. I get your cover at Comic-Con, but you'll get way more notoriety if you go with the first one, because it was Chester Bennington with a finger gun to his head, hours after he hung himself, and O.J. Simpson there hours after he was granted parole. So I was like, that'll get way more heat. And you know what? The channel at the time only had like 5,000 subscribers or something like that. So the more eyes, the better. So that was one of my favorites.
Out there like found us through that podcast and we're like, yeah, that's the best one you guys have ever done, but I'm still sticking around.
Yeah, it was a good. I looked forward because you sent me that and I was like, God damn, I cannot wait for like midnight so I can download this. And I stayed up intentionally to be able to get up or stay up long enough to get downloaded on Podbean and then stay up and listen to the whole thing. I was like, this has got to be a great episode tonight, because with a title card like that and the juicy topics that are out there, this has got to be a good one. So that was definitely one of my favorite. And then, like I said, with the ones that I've been on, it's like I said, they all kind of just run together after a while. It's been like 100 and something, and I can't. Episode 164.
What happened?
Fuck, I don't know. I was just pulling a random number out of my ass. I'll go listen to it later and see what happened.
Yeah, that was our best. That was our most crowning achievement here on this channel.
We peaked.
I'm trying to, like, for me, I remember how awkward it was in the beginning to do the show, and now then I remember, like, right before The Last Jedi, we started to get into this groove where I was like, all right, cool, we're really getting it down. And then I don't even remember a single episode we did last year.
I know I was going back for some reason, I was going back through old episodes looking for something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but just seeing like some of the old title cards and the episode and like seeing what day it published. It's like, I remember doing that episode like it just happened, but it was like a year ago. I mean, I remember all of the stuff. Like if I look at it, I'm like, okay, I do remember that episode to an extent. I can't give you the nuanced details of it because, like I said, after a while, it all is the same stuff. Like I don't know. It's been a lot of fun. It's been one long fun time.
It has been a great time. People like our drunk commentaries, all kinds of stuff like that. So, it's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But let's see. Back to our friend Andrew Clark says, spending tonight with the fam. Have a great night. Thank you very much, Andrew Clark. We will. Salvador says, going 4 years later. Sorry, going strong 4 years later, 140K subs deep. Sounds like the fourth is with you. Also, Lighthouse looks really good, and a box awaits you at the PO. Now I need to go get my other set of keys and head on over. So, Salvador, I will do that. Have you guys seen any of the Lighthouse stuff with Robert Pattinson, a.k.a. Batglam?
I have not.
I have not. No, I haven't. There's only 2 movies that I've seen trailers for that are coming out this year that I'm really looking forward to.
Star Wars Episode 9. Yes, we know that one.
That would be incorrect. I was gonna say Midway looks like it could be a good movie, and there's another movie coming out on Christmas. It's called 1917, and it's a World War I movie about British soldiers. It looks interesting to me, but I like those types of movies.
So, people are saying that Lighthouse is getting Oscar buzz and stuff. A little film called Joker was getting Oscar buzz.
Ooh,
and
I don't know if I heard of this film, Joker.
I know, right? I was late to the party myself. So I went out and I finally saw Joker this past week, Tuesday, actually.
Did you get shot by an incel?
No, I was one of 4 people in the theater. And I took a date, and it was like, actually, I got taken out to the movie. That's neither here nor there. My point is, everything the media told you about that movie was a goddamn lie.
Mm-hmm.
I walked out a better person from the film, maybe, but equally safe. I guess I drank a lemonade, and that's not good. So the most I was in danger was drinking a sugary beverage. Ooh. So for all those out there that listen to this channel and try to throw that narrative at us, sorry, it didn't work. And now we can finally talk about the movie because I'm aware of it. So, Kendo, you saw it before anyone else.
I did.
You liked it, right?
I liked it very much. I want to go watch it again at least one more time before it's out of theaters.
Dion.
Yes, sir.
Same question.
Yes, I saw it the day after we talked about it on the show, and then I took my side girl and my main girl to see the movie, and so I've seen it twice. I loved it. I really loved it. I think it was definitely super fucking dark. I think that and I think in an effort to remain objective, I've said multiple times on the show, I'm not a huge fan of outside the universe type movies, especially outside the universe these movies are supposed to take place in. I think this one was still great. I think despite even that taking into account, this has no bearing on the current DC franchise. This has no bearing on the upcoming Batman film. This is supposed to be a standalone. It was still great. I think that the commentary that it was speaking into, like Nick said last week, in terms of, or not last week, but in terms of mental illness, was very profound. And I think that the way that it was presented, especially it being in the 80s, and the way that Joaquin was presenting this particular version of Joker was awesome. Especially when you have that slow burn, that big reveal, and then him becoming the Joker was fantastic, dude. I fucking loved it, and the way it ended, holy shit. This was the first one-off where I wanted to see more in this universe, and it was fucking great.
I think that this movie was a lot of things for me. First off, not just for me, but I think this was a low-key DC Universe Batman reboot. I don't think they announced it, but I think that was always the intention. Because
so you mean in terms of having Joaquin being in the Batman movie?
I do. I'm not saying he's going to be in the film, but I think this is the world that we're going to be inhabiting as that little kid will grow up to be the Twilight guy.
Okay.
I think this was a low-key oh, if we announce it, people are going to rebel and fight online. But if we announce this as a one-off and it's this and it's different and it's bold and we'll play, play the field, and now it's become, has been made like how much money? $200 million domestically and another 200 and something worldwide. I mean, we're talking like, all this money, and people are going to buy in. They're already in on Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I am. I liked him a lot. I thought he did a great job. I've never felt bad for the Joker. I did with this movie. Like, I genuinely felt like some of the shit he went through, I was just like, oh my God. Like, I really felt bad. Like, when he got beat up the first time by those kids, I was like, come on. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you watched him like slowly devolve into this madness. Now, I never sympathized with his actions, but I just felt bad for when he got the shit kicked out of him. And I always felt it was weird too. Every time he got beat up, he like covered his dick. I was like, oh, did he get, did something happen to him bad in his life? And then you learned it later in the movie. You're like, oh God. So, I mean, there were all these elements and like layers to the film that I enjoyed. There's one thing I do want to talk about kind of non-sequentially. I saw a meme today. It pointed out that all the clocks in that movie were at the same time in each scene. So do you think the whole movie was in Joker's head, or do you think it actually happened?
Which, you mean the whole stuff, or which part?
No, every time a clock was shown in the film, it was 12 a.m. Like when they showed the clock in the lady's office, when she told him there was no more government assistance, the time clock had the same clock, and somewhere else in the movie had the exact same clock, like time on the clock. And it's like, remember, we know Joker at one point is telling stories and stuff like that. So you can interpret it as like, this really happened. It was pretty cool. I liked that. Did you guys pick up on that, or?
I did not pick up on the clock bit. I did not. That's actually fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, it's news to me.
Yeah, that's dope, man. The thing that I enjoyed the most, I didn't pick up on it until the I can't wait for this fight. Until the second time I watched it was, the beginning when they show Murray's closeout line when he goes, okay, remember guys, that's life, and then he says it, and then the first time I watched it, I was like, that's a weird way to close out a fucking talk show. And so I didn't catch it at the end. The first time I saw it, I didn't catch it at the end. So only when I took Hill and Diane did I see when he kills him, they cut him off. And then, when they're replaying the ending, however it happens, and they're replaying the ending, and he grabs the camera and he goes, and he actually says the whole thing, and always remember guys, that's life, before he gets tackled to the ground. I didn't catch it till the second time. So for me, that was the big thing, was him getting, Murray saying it, and then the Joker going to say he gets cut off, and then him saying it when they're replaying the whole incident. The second time I saw it, I was like, holy shit, that is so fantastic.
Yeah, I really can't. Like, I don't think it's the greatest movie I've seen this year.
For sure. Agreed.
I really enjoyed it. It's my favorite comic book movie I've seen this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best movie I've seen in 2019 was still, that award was going to go to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was not my favorite Tarantino movie, but I watched and I was like, wow, I really enjoyed the hell out of this. Joker, to me, symbolizes a change in direction, hopefully, where not everything needs to be laugh a minute, kid friendly. Let me sell you a bunch of action figures that have a bunch of, fat white dudes dress up as Thor cosplay. It's like, yes, you get your Joker people. Yes, you get people that identify with the character for right or wrong reasons. I'm gonna say wrong because you don't kill people. But I think it makes me happy that this movie did as well as it did, because we're not stuck with the Marvel formula. Marvel formula can exist, but other things should exist too. Variety is the spice of life, and I don't want to get burnt out on comic book movies. I'm somebody that has been into this stuff my whole life, and I will gladly go see stuff like Joker, gladly go see stuff like a Road to Perdition or a 300 or a Sin City or a Spider-Man movie. It's just variety. It's got to be the thing. I want every company, every property adaptation to have its own identity. I don't want Guardians of the Galaxy 4 with Thor to be the same as Guardians of the Galaxy 5 without Thor. They got to have their own identities. They got to exist. And Joker was just so fun for me in that regard. Now, it also elicited a response, like a physical response. Like there are certain times where I'm like, ooh, I'm feeling cold, or ooh, this, or ooh, that, and it built. I thought it looked great, great performances. There were a couple moments where I'm like, is this really what happened? Was it in his head? Did they lie? Especially the stuff with his mother.
Yes.
I don't necessarily believe what those files said, but we can talk about that on After Hours because I don't want to ruin it for everybody.
For sure.
But there was a lot in that movie, and I was talking to Jesse about it. I kept thinking about it for days on end. Like as we were checking out of the casino, I was just like, "Huh, I'm still thinking about Joker. I really need to watch it again. I really, really enjoyed it."
Yeah, I and again, I think that what you said. Listen, holy shit, I agree with you, Jeff. What the fuck me, right? But I think what you said is very telling of where we are in film. And listen, when someone objectively watches something, I don't think that they're necessarily wrong, right? I think there are wrong opinions, but I think that when you watch something like this, I think, this has a lot more open to interpretation than, say, Endgame, or this has a lot more open to interpretation than, say, Alita Battle Angel. This movie was definitely, it was very art housey. I'm not going to lie about that, but it was also a lot more of an examination of a character than what we've gotten probably since the first, in terms of comic book movies, the most introspective movie that we've gotten of a character probably since Avengers. And I think that, I wouldn't say it's my favorite of 2019 either, but it's definitely up there, specifically because even though it was technically a comic book movie, you actually saw an in-depth, give a shit story about a character, which is so hard to do, especially nowadays. And I think that it is so good is because, and that I'm kind of taking a little bit from Bat and the Sun talked about this a couple days ago or a week or so ago
You
on their
still watch
podcast.
them?
I do. I watched their videos, and I did actually, they got a podcast. I intentionally
I loved their live action stuff.
so good, and it's still good. They just did Killmonger versus Thomas Wayne's Batman, but the dude that plays Batman a lot, Kevin,
Conroy.
No, the dude that does it for Bat in the Sun. They'll still say it in the chat, but the dude who plays Batman for Bat in the Sun said it's a very good examination of a character. And like you said, he said a very similar, not the same thing. You said a lot better, Jeff, but it's not to sell toys. It's not a marketing ploy. It was literally a movie that examines the Joker before he's the marketable character that he becomes in what we know. And I think that's what made it so genuine. It wasn't a ploy to push a franchise. It was a genuine art house presentation of a crazy fucking character. And it's just so goddamn fun. And even though it sounds and seems and looks like something that's definitive, there's so much open for interpretation. Him and his girlfriend, him and his mother, especially the ending, which I think he actually did it. And then especially the ending, him inadvertently creating his own doom with the Batman was so fucking awesome. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a huge fan of what they did for Thomas Wayne, but just him inadvertently creating the thing that's going to be his antithesis is such a poetic way to end that film, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna annoy me because I knew it was coming.
Right.
But then it happened. I'm like, that was cool.
Yes.
It didn't suck. I can't wait for the next Batman movie. Like, the funny thing is they can show you the Batman origin 12 times and you're just like, I'm still going to go and watch it because it could be slightly different. Like, unlike Spider-Man, where you're so tired of the same origin story that's actually only been told twice on film. Like, and only once, like, properly with the Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi first film. The Batman one, there's just always a way to keep Batman fresh and interesting. And, some people would argue, oh, Batman's the greatest American superhero. At this point, I would say, yes, that's the case. Much more than Superman, who's, kind of fallen off for 2 generations. Like post Christopher Reeve Superman,
sure.
like, you know, us, we grew up, Superman was either dead or had a mullet, or just, you know, there weren't movies until we were, you know, 18 years old, 17 years old for us. So like a big part of our lives, Superman was a relic of the past. And the only new things you had were the cartoon, which was excellent, and the video games, which sucked. Batman always had a constant presence. And I think that's he's always been there, and he always will be, because there's just too many people that grew up exposed to that character. So when you do something different in his universe, I don't think you alienate people as much.
Yeah, and you know, and obviously, Kendo, feel free to jump in. I definitely want to hear what you think about this, especially because, you know, you being such a big wrestling fan, and then you
whoa,
not being a huge comic book fan, but being like you're not in depth, but you still love comic books and shit. So I want to hear what you think about this, especially what I'm going to say here. But for me, you know, objectively speaking, you know, and Jeff, you and I have had this conversation multiple times. I think, you know, in terms of being related to, it's always been Batman and Spider-Man. Those two heroes have always been the best in terms of us regular folk reading something and relating to a character that doesn't exist. And I think that the reason why Batman resonates with so many people is because, you know, he is a regular person amongst superheroes, but he's a superhero in of himself because he's so goddamn human. And it's the same thing with Spider-Man. Even though Spider-Man has obviously superpowers, you know, the fact that he also has this unbreakable code, and even though he's not going to be able to move the planet with his own strength, his story and his plight resonates not just with the people who read him, but the people in his own universe. And to see that happen, but also in the Joker movie, for that to happen, but for him to be so powerfully represented, and for him to be, in this case, you know, no spoiler alerts, for him to also be, like I said, the catalyst for the beginning of this crazy universe, is such a great way to examine the character and to bring something that hasn't really been done before. I mean, with the Nolan movies, it was all about Batman. It was from his perspective, and then he's thrust into this world where he faces people like Joker and Bane and Ra's al Ghul. But you see the Joker, and you know, you have this fucking crazy psycho guy who himself is reluctantly brought into this world. And at the same token, he's affecting things around him so crazily. It's just such a cool fucking thing to see. And like you said, it makes me want to see the sequel. I want there to be I don't want this to be a one-off. I want to see, like you said, I want to see the next Batman movie. I want it to have something to do with this, especially with him doing the smile with the blood. God damn, dude. I want to see this shit unfold. Fuck, man. I really do.
I do too, man.
Okay, I'll jump in then. I got caught up ball watching, because when you guys start going back and forth on stuff, I just sit back and just like listen. Yeah, I agree with the whole Batman, you know, like the relatability thing. Plus, with him being an ever presence, you know, in our lifespans, it's kind of like, you know, plus he's just a regular dude, just going around beating the hell out of people, and he can fly around. He's got all those wonderful toys and all that other good stuff. So yeah, I would say Batman definitely really relatable, and that's probably why he's one of the top, you know, thought of superheroes. But to the Joker thing, I mean, I love the movie, and I don't know if I want a direct sequel, but I want to see more of Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, because we only get him for like 20 minutes as the Joker. Before that, he's just Arthur Fleck and spiraling, you know, further and further into madness. But I want to see what he can do with his own movie or his own performance as just the Joker the entire time. I'll tell you what. Part of my, you know, when I reviewed it, sorry for cutting you off. His laugh when he's doing his Joker laugh, that's, to me, when I think of the Joker laugh, I always think Hamill, but that's the closest thing we've gotten to Hamill out of the characters that have portrayed the Joker. Everybody kind of had their own spin on things, if you will, and their own way of portraying it. But like, I don't know, the way Joaquin did the whole thing, it's like, I know we were all kind of, when it first got announced, we were all kind of iffy, very wishy-washy on the whole thing. But as the trailers came out and things like that, it's like, this could be really good. And it turned out to be really damn good. And yeah, I want him to get his own, not necessarily just his own movie, but his own chance to play the character in a movie. And I think, and I'm just throwing this out here as a hot take prediction, if he gets his own chance to perform as the Joker the entire movie, he's going to make a run for that, one of those top spots in actors portraying the Joker.
Oh yeah, he's on the fast track to that for me.
Yeah, I mean,
he's up there, dude. It's so I think you bringing up Hamill not as a direct comparison to what Joaquin did, but I think Hamill's great because that motherfucker was able to portray a psychotic world eater through his voice, and that resonates with people so well. Even with Jack Nicholson, a guy who back then, is able to portray this chaotic force in a Tim Burton movie resonated so well. And we hadn't had that, and then, finally Heath Ledger, again, his take was this, indifferent, chaotic force against a altruistic Batman, in and of itself was very compelling. And then you finally have, and I think that Jared Leto failing miserably had an effect on that too.
Which, by the way, he's getting tons of shade has been getting it on Twitter from people ripping him apart over his Joker, mainly because he was pretty salty about not being able to play the role in the Joker movie, which is funny as hell.
I think yeah, well, I think that's more reflective on Jared Leto as a person than him as a professional actor. But fucking the way that Joaquin did it, it was just so, he wasn't trying to fit into the DC universe. It was, even he bought into, hey, we're doing something different here, and he was like, fuck it, as opposed to Jared Leto, since we brought him up, who was trying to be this, we were talking about.
He was trying to reinvent the character. He wasn't saying, this is the character that's there, I need to do my best to be him. It was, I'm going to do something totally different and make the Joker me.
I think that's part of it. I don't think you're wrong. I just think that he was trying to be the fad Joker. He wasn't making his own Joker. He was making the Joker that he thought the kids and the viewers of 2016 would want. And that's that hipster-esque, tattooed Instagram Joker.
Grill.
And with the grill and, the him, making Ike Barinholtz kiss his hand. That was, we were talking about laziness and agenda early in the show. I think that was a Joker that reflected that. It wasn't him being natural. It was him with an agenda, being lazy, trying to, okay, this is the fad now, I'm going to be reflective of that, as opposed to Joaquin Phoenix, who was doing his own thing, truly doing his own thing, while still trying to maintain the foundation that is the Joker. And it fucking, man, it turned out so good.
Yeah, it feels so nice to be able to talk about a movie in such a good way. It's not this movie had this and that. Look, there's a lot going on. This is like a real movie. That's a comic book movie. It's not like I said, it's not a toy commercial. I will jump off the point you're making about Jared Leto. Jared Leto was the worst Joker ever.
Hands down.
He was an embarrassment. He was a punchline, and not in the way that the Joker would want to be. Face tattoos, damage, like it was too on the nose. The Zack Snyder universe has effectively been killed off in terms of the Batman repercussions. I think this will be a nice, like I said, soft, slow, subtle, secret reboot, because we have casting news about the next Batman film. We have Paul Dano, who's playing the Riddler, so we're gonna have a new Riddler for the first time in like 25 years. That's cool.
Yeah.
We have Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, but is it Selena Kyle, or is it like, see, because a lot of people are like, are you gonna make a video on that? And I said, not really, because Eartha Kitt was Black Catwoman, Halle Berry was.
Right.
Halle Berry's garbage, just Catwoman, so
right.
It's a low bar. But if it's Selena Kyle, I think you should adapt it to always look like the art. So that's my stance. And then Jonah Hill's not involved anymore. And then you have
Right.
Batglam played by Robert Pattinson. But all I want to say is at least it leads to the possibility of something interesting. If it sucks, it sucks. If it's great, it's great. But at least we had Joker that brought us something fresh, and I felt invested in the movie. I didn't just wait for the connection to the Thanos story arc.
Right. And Jared Leto's Joker is going to get a rebound. He will be starring in his own band called 30 Seconds to Obscurity.
As he fucking should. Fuck that
Because
shit.
that's where his Joker's headed.
I'm just glad we're past that, honestly, because I was worried that was what we were going to live like. It's
That's
weird.
what we were left with. That was our last image of Joker is Leto trying to get rom-com into Bang Harley.
Yeah, and the thing is, it was only 2 years ago, man. 2 years ago, that's what the Joker was. 2 years later, it's Joaquin Phoenix, who actually kind of scary, a little sympathetic, and I don't want a sequel to this film. I just want him established in the world. Because the Joker can be older. Who cares? You know?
Right.
He could still have his chemical bath. He could just always wear makeup. It doesn't really matter. Heath Ledger had the scars, not the chemical bath. So the only thing I'd like to see would be a more classic Joker design on his face. Other than that, I liked the clothes. I thought the dancing was a little strange to me, but it symbolized something.
I did laugh out loud though when he started dancing down the stairs and was playing that fucking Rock and Roll Part 2 song. I know a lot of people bitch because it's a Gary Glitter and
yeah, I know what happened.
Things about that.
Yeah, that was bullshit. That was.
But
bullshit.
it's just like
bitching about it.
I was like, I think the song was well placed because when you hear that song, it's usually at a sporting event, or it used to be, and it was usually for like a pep up, get excited, get pumped type of moment. And so you've got the Joker having just killed the hell out of some guy, embracing who he is, dancing down the steps, fucking getting pumped up and psyched up. It's like, okay, that's kind of funny because they used that song for that type part of the movie.
And for the record, Gary Glitter's not getting paid for that. So everyone pushing that narrative online, he gave up the rights to that fucking song years ago. He's not getting paid for it. You don't have to feel bad for watching the goddamn Joker.
No.
And for me, again, I think that the dancing for me, it symbolized that fall. So he kills the dudes earlier on. He dances and then he starts dancing later, and that's that sign where some shit's gonna fucking go down. And for me, the dancing differentiated this Joker from the other ones. It was a small thing, but it was one of those small things that again, I'm going to naturally associate with this Joker. His weird fucking mimey carnival-esque movements, I think, fits this Joker so well, especially with the way that how awkward Joaquin and his Arthur Fleck looked in this unit. Like, even though before he put on the fucking makeup, he looked awkward as fuck, and it just fit that character so goddamn well.
Yeah.
Plus, the dancing gave us great memes.
It did. Plus, it did great memes.
Well, I mean, to me, I thought the dance was. I mean, the dance symbolizes him becoming more comfortable, or I don't know how to verbalize it right off the top of my head. But I saw people in the chat saying like how he doesn't have humor in this or that. Like he's growing into the Joker. Like, I don't think you need to see another film where he becomes more and more Joker. Like the next one's just he's crazy, he's the Joker, all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked when he danced after his first kill. In the bathroom, and I was just like, cool. And then he did it more. And did you notice too, like the last move became that thrust thing?
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Oh, is that him, becoming more of a man? Because the Joker has a girlfriend and all this shit. But before he was just, like you said, Arthur Fleck. What was real, what wasn't, and all this stuff. And I mean, we could talk all night. I'm trying not to go full Joker, but god damn, that was a fun movie to watch.
At this point, fuck it. God, I mean, it was. I think that's great. I think that's a great point, especially in terms of this one. It's so hard for us to leave it at not having a sequel, but god damn, man, it's so hard for me because I want to see, like you said, I want to see that next one where bam, he's crazy, he's doing the thrust thing like that, which surprisingly we didn't see in the other Joker movies, you know what I'm saying, or movies that have the Joker rather, so that to see that, I was like, damn, why hasn't any other Joker done that? So it was one of those things where even though it was like he was the first dude to keep doing it, it felt so goddamn natural. And it being so natural, I was like, man, it fits so well, but also in that universe with everything being so crazy and dark and gritty, like a crazy motherfucker just doing a hip thrust fits in that unit. He's a dirty, grimy motherfucker, and it just looked fucking dope, and it fit that guy, And then the other part that stuck out for me, not just the hip thrusting, but when he's at the Murray show, and he's like talking to the doctor, he goes, "This guy probably could use a doctor," and he's just standing there with a cigarette in his hand with the blue light on him, and I was like, "Fuck, that looks so goddamn cool." That looks so goddamn cool. And he's jovial with the dancing, but he's also so menacing. And that's the thing that I think Jack Nicholson got. That's the thing that Heath Ledger got. And that's what Mark Hamill got just by doing his voice. Yeah, the Joker's this crazy, jovial, comical fucking dude, but he's menacing. That's what separates him from being Batman's arch nemesis and him being a fucking carnival clown that you see at a goddamn shitty Ingham County carnival bullshit. Yeah. That's what makes it so cool. And in this movie, that was with Jared Leto, he wasn't menacing. He wasn't scary. There isn't a goddamn dude who has confidence in himself that can actually do a push-up that's scared of Jared Leto being the Joker. But this dude, he's skinny, he's awkward, he's weird. You don't know what he's gonna do. He's fucking menacing, and that's
how he let the short guy go.
Yes, and then but after he messed with him, he jumped at him, and oh my god, that was so funny.
Yeah, he'll crack a joke and then he'll just shoot you for no reason. Ask Bob.
I was hoping secretly when the guy in the ambulance saved him, he would have said like, "What's your name?" and he would have just said Bob, and that would have just been like a slight Easter egg. Like, that would be really dumb but really amazing, because I would have been like, "Ooh, okay."
There's the origin of Bob the Goon. That's what we need, Bob the Goon, a Star Wars story.
I was so worried that whatchamacallit, the Joker was going to kill Batman's parents.
I was really hoping I was glad he didn't. I was just like, oh fuck. I was like, please don't do that. Please don't take the easy way out. Like, it worked with the Tim Burton thing because Jack Nicholson was so awesome. But I was like, please don't fucking take the easy way out. Just this whole journey has been so fun. Don't fucking skip this shit.
Yeah, well, it worked with Batman '89 because up to that point, I don't think a whole lot of people knew the true Batman origin, like who actually killed his parents. So it's like, we'll just slide the Joker in here. But then in the 30 years, people have read a shitload of Batman comics, and they would know that that's not the case. So
yeah, Joe Chill.
So we got to see Joe Chill's origin too. We got to see where he came from. So we need that too.
So I just want to say two more points I want to make, and you guys obviously say whatever you want. Folks in the chat chime in all night. First off, I think Thomas Wayne being a piece of shit is much more interesting than him being the altruistic savior of Gotham.
Yes,
It works in the Hope world that they're trying to build in the Nolan trilogy. Like, I love Batman Begins. That's on the right day. That's my favorite Batman movie. But then I look at '89 and I think of all my attachments to it, and then I usually give that answer. But I really do like that interpretation.
I love your struggle between '89 and Batman Begins. Like,
Dark Knight's never in contention. Like, seriously,
I love how much you love Batman Begins, dude. I fucking love that. Like, as much as and you know me, as much as I love The Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, like, that's just in terms of our French, I love arguing that with you, and I love how you're just like '89 or Batman Begins. I fucking love that movie. I'm just like, god damn it, this dude. Classy motherfucker.
I think realistically what boils down to not 89 from Begins, what I enjoyed, I love the ending of it. Like, when he's like, I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you. People are like, that's not Batman. I like it nonetheless. I'm also the kind of guy, like, I don't like Batman Returns. People are like, well, Batman Returns is so great. It's like, he straps a bomb to a guy and throws him down a well. That's much gnarlier than, whatever, but that's neither here nor there. What I really do love about the film is the fucking literal ending when he goes to Gordon on the rooftop and he gives him the Joker card. He's like, I'll look into it. Because that's like one of the few times where I went to see a movie and I was like, give me the sequel right now. I don't care if I need to pay $50. I will watch it. I'll pay for it right now. And Dark Knight didn't disappoint. I don't really rip on it. I always say the people kind of turned me off to it because of the abundance of Jokers at Halloween 2008 on Michigan State's campus. But the point I was trying to get at is I've always liked the traditional Thomas Wayne, but I do like how this one makes him, he's rich, he's done some things for people, but he's clearly an asshole. And I enjoyed that. And I don't necessarily I hated at first the idea of Fleck possibly being his son.
Right. Oh, fuck yeah.
But,
yeah, that was awesome how they did that. Yep.
But I do like to entertain the idea that even though his mom had the lobotomy and did go to Arkham and he was abused, this is my interpretation that I'd like to believe that those adoption papers were forged and all that shit was real. I'm just saying that's the gray area I like.
No. I think, like I said before, I the thing I liked was the ambiguity of the whole thing. Like, you don't know what is real in some aspects, and don't get me wrong, I loved the twist where he realizes, oh my God, my mom's full of shit. But then there's that little aspect of, a rich dude who's running for office. It makes sense that he would have some shit forged if he was fucking around his wife. And for me, the last few years, I've been kind of getting tired of the whole shitting on Thomas Wayne thing. Obviously, the Batman Telltale series, there was the question of his parents, being dirty. And then obviously, the shit with, Batman Damned just came out. And that was part of that storyline where, Thomas Wayne's cheating on his wife, cheating on Martha, he's cheating on her.
Martha.
So for a while, I was getting really tired of them dumping on Thomas Wayne. But with this one, it was, it was very refreshing to see, hey, Thomas Wayne, quote unquote, wants to save the city, but he's being a fucking asshole. And then he's a politician. And then, it's fitting now where a politician says something and it pisses off the constituents. In Joker, he calls them clowns and it pisses off Gotham City. And to see that happen as a backdrop was so fucking cool. And I think that fit so cool. And it plays right into what you're saying. It makes Thomas Wayne out. He was this jerk off where you could kind of believe that he would, forge some documents to make a crazy lady look even more crazy. I liked that. I really, really fucking liked that.
Yeah, I'm ready to watch it again through a different lens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to wait till it hits Blu-ray. I'm not going to go run out to see it in theaters again unless I catch it on a $5 Tuesday or something by myself when I have the time. I don't know. It was enjoyable. And, I want more in that vein, not necessarily more Joker, but just something that has depth that makes you discuss it. Not, what happened to Peter Parker in the 5 years? It's like, okay, cool. Well, there's a couple possibilities, but trying to break down the Joker's, the mental break, what's the truth, what's not, that's the best Joker stories are like the Killing Joke. And how he talks about, I'm having a bad day in the one scene. And then the comic book, he's like, one bad day can ruin everything or change everything. Yep. That's a cool kind of nod and a throwback. And the whole Murray, as he called him, that scene was just like in The Dark Knight Returns when, the Joker had gone insane because Batman retired. And then he goes on the show and I think he breaks the mug and slits the dude's throat and gasses the audience. It was a nice kind of adaptation of that in a certain way. So it was cool. I loved it. Like I said, not my favorite movie of the year, but I was more impressed than I thought I would be. And if anyone's on the fence about watching it, you're going to be safe going to see the movie. Like I said, a sugary drink is more dangerous than anything you'll face in the film.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good way to button that up. It really is. But also, hey, it's even if you do want to take it as a more hefty movie, I think it fits that narrative too. It's just there's so many boxes this one ticks off, especially in the box ticking culture that we're in. You know, people that want to pretend to be all this bullshit in terms of popular culture. You know, you can't say that you believe this, that, and the other thing and not like this movie. I think this movie, you know, touches on so many things that, you know, it's you know, it makes the circus that surrounded it seem that much more of a circus. And I just you know, this is a win in a lot of columns for me.
What if this Joker were to go up against Adam West Batman?
Oh,
That's a hell of a hypothetical.
I think you have goofy ass Batman versus a random 38 special carrying Joker, and I think we see ourselves a lot darker version of a Jackass film. I'll tell you that.
I was gonna say we'd get a dance off.
Yeah, the Batusi versus whatever the Joker does. That's incredible.
Yeah, the hands above the air, you know, hip gyration on the staircase versus the Batusi. I mean, I'd watch the movie. I don't know if it'd be any good, but I'd watch it.
Yeah. So let's see what the people in the chat are saying. We got to catch up on super chats. This episode's going a little longer than planned, but you know what? Who cares? It's Friday. It feels like Saturday to me. Salvador, we read yours. Thank you very much. Crossbreed Azure says, if you want to keep updated on everything that's happening at the Disney parks and all, I recommend Clownfish TV. They're really good at reporting everything. All right, I'm already a subscriber. Just when it comes to their YouTube channels, if I want to make something on that topic, I try not to watch other people's videos because I don't want to ever feel like I've copied from them. So I usually look at text sources only because I feel like, well, it's a text source. It's more of a fair thing to interpret, not take someone else's video. I feel like that's cheating. Joseph Bienowitz, thank you very much. He says, Clue, the Star Wars version, Tim Curry rules. Yes, Tim Curry does rule. I'm a big fan. Do you guys like the movie Clue?
Yes, I do.
Dion?
Tim Curry is Joker or just Tim Curry?
He means a Star Wars movie Clue version. And then Joseph just states that Tim Curry rules.
Oh fuck yeah! Goddamn, Tim Curry's the goddamn man. Especially if he screams "Kiss me, fat boy" at some point.
Yes.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, that I'm all in. It doesn't even have to be within context. Just
right.
In any movie he ever did, just we need that. Like Home Alone 2, he's trying to, you know, find out what the hell Kevin McAllister's doing with that credit card. He knocks on the door and yells, "Kiss me, fat boy." I mean, that would just work out so well.
I do love that part in Home Alone 2 where he's like, "I love you."
Yeah.
I don't really like Home Alone 2 that much, but I fucking love that scene.
Yeah, no one really likes Home Alone 2 that much, but
no one will admit to liking it. That's how bad it is.
I love it too, but deep down, we know it's a terrible goddamn movie.
Deep down, we know Home Alone 3 is not the worst thing ever made for us.
Kid spray paints a fucking bubble gum. Still makes me laugh my ass.
Gave us ScarJo, didn't it?
It did, and I liked her. So.
There you go, silver lining.
Sire J. Longstroke says, when I worked in China, I was idolized by many people. First time in my life, I felt liked and respected for being different. Much respect for them. How do you think the people of China would feel about me?
They would not like you very much. They'd be very scared of you.
Yeah, I was going to say there'd be equal parts disliking and terror. They'd be terrified. They wouldn't like you, but they wouldn't tell you because they'd be terrified.
Now, Japan, you're getting laid 3 ways a Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Dude, you're a rock star.
That's what I was about to say. I'd rather go to Japan than China.
Oh, yeah.
I'm right there with you.
I've always felt like Japan's probably number 1 on my list of places I want to visit. If somebody said, you know, get a passport and I'll pay for, you know, a trip, all expenses paid, it would be Japan. Because I would want to go to Akihabara district or whatever and get all the shit and go see all the just everything. I just like Japanese culture. But if somebody said I'll take you to China, I go to China as well. But I'd like to go where everyone wants to like shake my hand and it's the country called Cheers. Everyone knows my name.
Yeah. I just want to go to Japan for that Nintendo land they're building.
We're getting one in Florida, dude.
Yeah, but that one's in Japan.
Yeah,
all the best stuff's made in Japan.
All right, Marty. 6 turning 4 birding says, have Undertaker deliver the last ride to Palpatine into the Sarlacc pit.
See, that's a good ending. I would watch that ending and I would cheer. whether or not the Undertaker could get him up, that's the real question.
Well, Kendo, if you have trouble getting it up, thank God for Blue Chew.
That's right. Get yourself a hashtag super hard dick.
Super hard Sarlacc. Would Roland start to play after the Undertaker choke slammed, or last rided Snoke?
Would the Undertaker do what now?
Would Roland by Limp Bizkit start to play?
It would have to.
Is a pig's pussy pork? Hell yeah, he would.
Yeah.
You have a motorcycle and everything. We
Yeah,
all know American Badass Taker beats Palpatine and Snoke. You know, evil graveyard fucking overkill Undertaker probably beats Snoke. Maybe not the Emperor.
No, I think he beats the Emperor too, because I mean he could just tombstone him into the Sarlacc pit, and that could be his like retirement. But who would win? Because they both can use lightning bolts.
I feel like Palpatine has better control of his. Undertaker's just kind of fall from the sky.
Yeah, it's true. They just like randomly hit shit. And you only see him on TV, whereas Palpatine's in real life. Yeah. We should have that. We should like simulate and discuss that. That could be the next great pop culture debate if we ever do it again. Who would win in a fight, Undertaker or Emperor Palpatine? It's like our own version of Deadliest Warrior.
We need to get some video editing in that one.
Nick?
Yeah, we know you're not listening. He probably actually has it on like, God damn it, Jeff. I'm eating dinner.
Fuckers. I was trying to.
Yeah, he's just listening while he's fucking around.
Folks, if you're listening right now, go ahead and tweet Nick Utam at Last Standing WCBS or whatever the hell he calls himself on Twitter. Just blow his ass up for no reason.
Yeah, say, hey, the boy sent you.
Yeah, be like, hey, heard you need some Blue Chew. And tag them in it.
Yeah, if we need to tag Conrad Thompson. He already hates us, so why not? Beamer says, possible ending. Rey gives birth to Anakin.
Oh, fuck you. Don't even joke.
I hate that ending.
Don't even joke.
Mr. Happy Sack says the ending will feature the first Sith Ewok. Yeah.
Ew. Fucking ew.
You know why he's got a happy sack, don't you, Jeff?
He's
got that Blue Chew.
I thought you were going to say that landscaping.
Oh, yeah, he's been manscaped. You know, he's got his balls all trimmed and nice, and, you know, they won't cut you or anything like that. And then he used some Blue Chew, and his sack is real happy and deflated and not filled.
So AMC's released information that there is going to be a Star Wars marathon. We could go see it. It's a 27-hour, 21-minute marathon. Oh, God. I have a
better idea.
Let's not.
Let's just watch the original trilogy and get drunk.
Yeah. I like that idea. Excuse me, folks. Trencher 1375, thank you very much. He says Kylo and Rey rip off the Emperor's mask, and it was Luke Skywalker all along. I would have gotten away with it too if it hadn't been for you meddling kids and your forbidden love.
They're gonna do the Scooby-Doo ending
along the way.
Now Nick's pissed that he's not on this episode.
Yeah. Diddle you.
God, it's a good reference. Thank you, Trencher. I appreciate that. I'd be pissed if there's real forbidden love in Star Wars like this. To me, this would be creepy if like Princess Leia and Luke got together.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
And Kendo's dead. 6 turning 4 burning says, or have Lesnar take Palpatine to Suplex City.
Yep.
Oh my God. I want Paul Heyman to be on the side of the fight. Do it, Brock.
Yep. Go on, go, Brock. Oh, that'd be so good.
Oh, Kendo, I wish you were here for this. Apocrypha, thank you very much. Possible ending. The Porgs maul everyone to death.
I would actually enjoy that a little bit.
Beamer says, I have the perfect ending. Everyone is a Force ghost, and then Luke wakes up in the Matrix.
Huh?
I'm fine with that. Can he have the shaved head, and instead the Nebuchadnezzar, they're on the Falcon?
Yep.
Oh, Kendo's back. There we go. Hey, Kendo, welcome back.
I have no idea what happened there. I was going, all of a sudden my screen just started like wigging out, and I started getting those ding, ding, ding sounds. And it's like, what the fuck happened there? My computer just decided it didn't want to cooperate.
Did you hear about one of the possible endings from our friend 6 Turning 4 Burning, that Lesnar's going to take Palpatine to Suplex City?
Yeah, and then they're going to sell the shirts. Suplex City, you know, Jakku.
I'm ready for that.
I mean, there's worse ways to end the saga. Whatever way we're going to get, it's a worse way to end the saga. So I'll take Lesnar, you know, taking Palpatine to Suplex City.
Oh my god. Let's see. We could do a really shitty one. Suplex City Sith. There we go. That's our t-shirt. And we'll get killed. Let's see. 6 Turning 4 Burning also says, Macho embrace the madness of the Force. Dig it! Sorry, my voice is a little shot. I only had 3 hours of sleep last night, but I do love the Macho Man so much it's not funny. Our friend Carl Page says, what kind of effects would a beam from one of the Ghostbusters proton packs have on a human body? Well, if you cross the stream,
burn right through them.
It's full protonic reversal, and yes, it would burn right through you.
Yeah, but it would also cauterize the wounds at the same time. So, I mean, depending on where you get hit, you just, you know, might be, you have a hole through you briefly, and then it'll cauterize it, and then you'll have the hole through you. So, depending on what part of your, it's gonna fuck you up. So, don't do it.
Yeah. What do you think, Dion?
Yeah, I think it's got to burn right through you, man. It's you know, you're dealing with, you know, nuclear plasma energy. That shit isn't gonna bounce off you. You know, it's plus, even if it kills, it's gonna grab your goddamn soul.
What are you, some kind of cosmonaut?
Holy shit! They could go out, they could kill people, and then, you know, bust their ghosts at the same time.
Yeah, wow. We should do a Ghostbusters serial murderer episode.
Which one would get the most kills?
You know it's going to be Venkman. No, sorry, I meant to say Spangler.
I don't know. I don't think Spangler has it in him to go around icing people.
I think he's creepier than you think, man. He wanted to drill a hole in his head.
Yeah, that's a good, you know, that's a sign of, you know, some kind of, you know, shit going haywire. Although, Jeff, I also have some really great news for you that I was going to tell you earlier that I forgot about until just now.
You have a plate of bacon for me.
I actually did buy 2 packs of bacon today. No, Christina Hendricks is on the market again.
Yep.
I saw she's getting a divorce from her other Jeffrey.
So that's time for you to swoop up right in and give her the good Jeffrey.
If I was single.
I mean, that's just a phone call away.
Yeah, but no. I'm not going to break up for Christina Hendricks.
All right. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I'm not her type. I'd like to be.
I mean, you're tall. He's tall. He's goofy looking. You're not that goofy looking. So, I mean, you got to win there.
You know how to keep your job.
Yeah.
Folks, give me your number. We'll call. That'd be really weird if that happened. Like, oh, hey, not to date her, like be together with her, just like get a phone call. She's like, yeah, listen to your show. Stop. Oh, okay. Sorry. Never go.
What if she says, I listen to your show and I'm really into you. I want you to come out here and give me the good stuff.
I'll be moving to California in January.
What if she says, I have tons of money and I will fully, like, you know, fund your projects that you want to do with your show?
Yeah, but what if I fucking hate her?
But Jeff,
good point.
We could have our skit show.
Stop throwing money at me, Kendo. You know what I want to do with my life.
Because we'll get the show up and going, and then you can bust up with her.
I have to think about this. This is a big decision.
Yeah. And that's why I'm here. The devil on your shoulder and your other shoulder, too.
All right, Jay, calm down.
Yeah.
Salvador, thank you very much. He sends in a big super chat that says, for late night post-stream Waffle House. I guess that's going to happen now. And if it doesn't happen tonight, I might take my mom to breakfast in the morning. So
there you go.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, Mom, you want to go to Waffle House? Salvador sent us.
Dude, you know what we could do? As part of our 8-hour stream thing, we could, you know, stream from live from a Waffle House.
I'd be completely fine with that because I'll put my phone in my pocket while we walk to the car, and then we go to Wiz-Waffle, his house. And
that's right, Wiz-Waffle, his house.
And we'll live stream as we eat smothered, covered, and diced hash browns.
That's right. And then we'll, go back and be like, this stream will pick back up. And actually, we don't have to cut it off because it'll be on your phone.
I want to do this so bad now.
I know. Aren't I full of great ideas?
You are the best ideas, Kendo. And thank
know.
you, Salvador. Lethal Lightning says 140,000. Congratulations. Love you lads so much. Lethal Lightning, thank you very, very much. He said, actually, you mad lads, much love. Excuse me. I read that and what I wanted to read it, but whatever. Thank you, Lethal Lightning. I'm very tired. Wanderer says, you're not getting anything out of these two. Burn them alive. Oh, and I have a message for Lord Vader. From Lord Vader. You may now laugh about the little Orphan Annie joke. I would love to know Darth. Could you imagine if fucking Grand Moff Tarkin made those jokes?
It'd be awesome.
It would be a departure from his character. He's not very jovial.
It's true, but evacuate in a moment of triumph. I think you overestimate the chances. You never know.
That's true.
Let's see. Wanderer says, "Hey guys, quick question. How do you like Candyman?"
The board game? I loved it as a kid.
No, Candyman, like the Tony Todd movie.
I gotta watch it again. I remember loving it. I just gotta, I loved what's his name is Candyman. That's fucking fantastic. But gotta watch it again.
I love the time we prank called him at a horror convention.
I love that story.
Yeah. Tony Todd, aka Candyman, likes large women. We have a friend who is a large woman who has his phone number, and while we were drinking in the hotel room, I convinced her to give me the number so I could call him and prank him. So,
that's just great.
Yes, that's a true story, folks. Nick was there. He will verify it for the end of time. Our friend Adam Wofford says, here's one for you guys. Everything up to when he goes into the ice box happens, but after that, it's all in his head. And that's in terms of Joker. Icebox. What happens when he goes to the icebox?
When he gets in the refrigerator.
It gets cold.
Oh, when he walks into the refrigerator. Okay. That'd be interesting.
That'd be fun. That would make it very fun.
See, now is the worst time to have these because now I want to stop and think about it. Like, you could see my face. I'm just like, oh, shit. Okay, we're going to have this discussion again, guys.
Deal.
Let me take a screenshot of this, Adam.
Fine enough. I'm planning on seeing the movie again real soon.
Fuck, now I want to. We should become the channel that overanalyzes the Joker film.
Yeah.
It's like, we've seen it 900 times combined. We know everything.
Yeah.
Get fucking Scorsese and Todd Phillips to come over and hang out with us.
Holy shit, that'd be fun.
I mean, there are worse people to invite over.
Yes, Christina Hendricks' ex-husband and celebrity.
That's all right.
Yeti.
Deanna, I'll just run interference for you. We'll beat his ass.
Oh, they're divorced. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but we still think I still think Deanna would have a lot of fun just knocking the shit out for no reason.
And that is all on you guys. You're my friends, and when I hang out with my friends, I do not try to parent you. You have fun.
Yeah. We'll beat him up in the basement while you're beating up what upstairs. It's gonna work out just fine.
I'm gonna give her the people's elbow. Beamer says, I think it would be cool if they did a sequel to Joker and pitched the idea that Batman might be crazy. Like seeing his parents killed in front of him permanently screws him up. How do you guys feel about this?
I mean, it would work.
It obviously I'm a little biased. I mean, seeing that in the comics so often, it's not something new. But in terms of a film, I think that'd be interesting. But again, you have to do it right. You can't be, you got to do it very carefully while also mind fucking the viewer, which may or may not be a very easy thing to do in a fucking DC movie.
I like the idea of Batman's sanity. I don't know how I'd want to do it in a movie, to be honest, because usually if it was more like, okay, that Gotham show was on for like 6 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe if you did like a season where like Batman was an adult and kind of crazy and he was questioning his stuff, you could do it long form. I don't know if in one movie, because I think people expect to see certain things in a Batman film, and I'm not saying that you have to have those exclusively, and it'll only be a good film if it has those. But like, I think you need I don't know. I would do something different. If I was going to make a Batman movie, I'd have a more high adventure. It could be dark, but also a little outside of Gotham at times too, because I get bored of the urban oasis that is Gotham City. But no, I think that's a pretty good idea, and I would definitely watch it. Our friend Darth Fatass, I love this dude. He says, "Happy early birthday, Jeff. Had a cold one on me. Now time to go see what's on the streaming service tonight. Luke Skywalker and Leia Orgasms star in Tatooine." Sorry, Tabooine, followed by Bodacious Tauntauns. No thanks. I'll stick with the WCPS crew.
Yeah, it's probably a good choice. That's a good call there.
Oh, could you imagine the opening of the movie is like Luke on Dagobah? He's like, Yoda's like, "There is another Skywalker."
Oh
like, "Must
God.
find her."
That I don't want to think about that.
I don't either. I'm sorry that I even made that joke. Thank you, Darth Badass, by the way.
Just coked up Leia Organa Solo fucking slobbing the chosen one's knob.
Jesus, it's like that fucking fan fiction I read on an episode a while back. The New Orleans episode.
I remember that one.
That one I do too. I think that was episode. I want to say it's 117, and the only reason I remember that because that's John from Halo. He's 117.
Here's a fun one from Swinging Cod. "Sorry I'm late. Had to travel. Are we playing the Super Chat drinking game tonight? Because I just got paid."
No, because we're not watching a movie.
I don't know. Dion, you want to play?
I don't have any beer, so.
God damn it. I only got 2 left. Fuck. No.
I have like 32 left because I stopped on my way home and bought 2 more 15 packs of Keystone and already had like most of one in the fridge. I had a party for $6 a 15 pack.
I wish I had no scruples. Adam Walford says, "Hey, did you get my super chat?" Yes, Adam, I did. Thank you for your patience. And yes, I'm going to go back and watch Joker under that now. Thunder Robots, thank you very much. He says, "What if the vat Joker falls into is a Lazarus pit and the Access Chemicals is owned by Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul, eliminating the age gap between Joker and Batman?"
You're getting a little too complicated there.
Yeah, we're making things a little too difficult here.
I am okay with the Joker being older than Batman, but I don't mind that if it was in a different world, like in this new DC realm that they're building. I don't think that would work. It would definitely feel less weird in like a Suicide Squad world because you'd be like, this universe is just dumb anyway, so anything's possible. But I could see it in that one. In this case, no, he'll just be older. Batman, I kind of like all my superheroes and villains to be older. They don't need to be like grandpa age, but I don't want like the show Gotham where Catwoman's a child. That's just weird to me.
I don't know, man. Seeing Batman and Joker fighting each other on those rascal scooters, and they've, one's got an oxygen mask and the other one's like keeps like trying to hit him with his cane. That could be entertaining.
I would watch that.
I would too.
But it's got to use the old Adam West soundtrack.
Well, obviously.
Sorry, I just got a picture of Bacon sent to me.
Nice.
Yeah, bagel. Thanks, Jesse. Let's see. Noah R., our first fan, is listening tonight, folks. He says, "Love you guys. Dion, I want my handy from 2015.
I mean, technically, he owes me one too if we want to play that game because I was a subscriber before I was a member.
It's true. It's like the hair club for men, the hand club for men.
Yes. There's a shirt idea.
Write it down. Fuck,
the WCBS hand club for men, and there's a picture of Dion on the front of it.
Dion, would you like to answer?
It's in the mail.
You remember how in in Batman '89 the Joker had that ha 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 that thing that was like in his jacket? You just send one of those. It's just like a sound effect and like a robotic hand, and it's like, "Put me on." It's just Dion going, "Baby, baby." And it's just your
baby, 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 baby.
Oh man. Let's see. Thank you, Noah R, for sticking with us for 4 years. Jeez.
Love you, Noah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Swinging Cod says we need Force Ghost Dusty Rhodes to do a 20-minute trash talk of Palpatine before pile driving him off the highest Coruscant tower into the underlevels.
That would be awesome.
That's hard times, Daddy. That's what he's got to say at the end.
Let me tell you, Myth Emperor Palpatine, you think you're so great, high and mighty on top of your empire? Well, I got the empire right here, the Dusty Rhodes Empire. And I tell you what, when I take you down, it's going to be some hard times for you, Daddy.
I have dined on pork and beans and jumped from towers and killed Palpatines.
That's right. I'm the American dream, and I'm the galactic dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Stardust makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't it now?
Yeah.
A lot more.
I'm sorry, I'm impressed by myself. Michael Connor says Curry was the original Joker in Batman the Animated Series. I was aware of that, Michael.
Yeah, his voice was too scary.
And I think, though, there's one of his laughs still in the cartoon, just like a ha ha ha, that they didn't have time to record over. But they've never released full episodes. They should put those on the Blu-ray. They should have put those on the Blu-ray.
It would be really amazing bonus content.
Yeah, little bit like the Eric Stoltz Back to the Future footage. Okay, would you guys pay $40 for a Blu-ray combo pack?
Yes.
The Future and then the Eric Stoltz cut.
Yes.
Okay. That'd be an interesting thing. It's like there's only so much of it that exists. But I think they filmed it for 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a good chunk of the movie done because they wanted, didn't they want Michael J. Fox originally, but he couldn't because of family ties.
Yep.
And so they rolled with Stoltz, and then they were like, man, this just isn't working. And they worked out a deal to get Michael J. Fox.
It was the best casting change in history.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's a good one.
Who would you think is even comparable, Dion? I mean, Michael J. Fox makes Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I got to think about that for a minute.
I mean, you put anybody else in that role, that movie is nowhere near as iconic, nowhere near as good, and you don't get a part 2 or 3, most likely.
I mean,
fine.
I don't know if I'd say that, but goddamn, Michael J. Fox fucking makes that movie. I can't say that, but Eric Stoltz is still pretty goddamn good.
I mean, he's a fine actor. I'm not going to take anything away from Eric Stoltz. I've liked a lot of Eric Stoltz movies, but they're different types of actors.
True. Eric Stoltz is fine in films like Mask and Pulp Fiction. Michael J. Fox is great in everything, including The Frighteners, which is a movie I really like. Let's see. We have our friend Liquor Jim. Let's see. What can we expect from Rise of Skywalker? About 3 hours of pain for world-class bullshitters and thousands of hours of joy for those who listen to their final Star Wars eulogy. Rest in peace, Star Wars.
Dun, 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 dun.
I think that's what you guys are going to get.
Yeah.
Like I said, we got stuff planned.
If I was a betting man, and I am, I would say that the odds of us, eulogizing and lamenting over a terrible Star Wars would be like 1 to 10. Us, blowing Lucasfilm's dick about a great Star Wars, I would put it 10,000 to 1.
It's going to be the most interesting night of the year, folks. If you have no intentions of paying for a ticket, you do what you want. But listen to the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be all on camera. We'll be more produced than usual.
Yeah.
So we'll still all have our cameras or all have our computers hooked up, and I'll just be like, it's like we're in the same room because we are, but we're also on our own screens because we are.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
And we'll go off script like always.
Yeah, script, what's that?
Yeah, we don't have those.
Swinging Cod says, you could probably do Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee's Hush story as a 2 to 2.5 hour movie. Don't bother with the backstory, as most know it by now. Just go. Swinging Cod, I love Batman Hush. Now, I think you could do Batman Hush as a 2-part film. Because you could do, like in the story, the first part with Superman and Poison Ivy, and then get into the Joker, Tommy, what's his name? Tommy Elliott? Yeah.
Yep,
Tommy
Elliott. Yep.
Because Tommy Oliver is the White Ranger. That would be, dude, could you imagine Batman?
That'd be a hell
versus
of a
the White
crossover.
Ranger? I'd
Batman
watch that in a
still
heartbeat. I think Batman would lose.
He's smarter than most teenagers, though.
Yeah, it's true, but I mean, they have the power of the morphing grid on their side.
Yeah, but he's comparable to the most powerful being on Earth in his
Dude.
universe.
The Power Rangers have giant robots.
Yeah, but
Batman's got all sorts of wonderful tools.
If a teenager gets fucking outsmarted by Bruce Wayne, are you really that surprised?
No.
It's not about being outsmarted. It's like he's outman.
He is outmanned, but how many other times is he outmanned by other villains and superhero beings, man? I think a fucking bunch of teenagers playing ninja is no different.
Dude, they have the power, okay? Batman's not going to kill him. He's not going to go up to some kids in a park who are cleaning up trash and get attacked by putty monsters. He's not going to do that. Batman's going to be doing whatever, and then all of a sudden, here it's morphin' time, you know, Dragon Zord. All of a sudden, this green spandex guy with a big gold vest pops up. Batman's like, who's this dude? And he's like, blah, 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 and they have to fight for some reason. You know, Batman can pull out gas grenades and all this shit. Not going to affect them. But, you know, Green Ranger calls for Dragon Zord. Dude, it's done.
I mean, you're assuming he allows a fucking 17-year-old to, one, take the time to go ahead and morph in the Green Ranger, let alone pull out his flute dagger and play it long enough to call his Dragon Zord. That's a big if, especially if he fucking sees it at one point.
How long does it take Batman to get dressed? An hour?
Mate, I mean, sure.
I was just saying, by the time he's armored up, the Green Ranger has done his physics homework, walked the dog, had dinner, and waited for Batman to show up because he morphs instantaneously.
But he's not gonna engage in a confrontation as Bruce Wayne.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, neither is Tommy going to engage in a confrontation as Tommy. He's going to be the Green Ranger.
But there's not a point where like them taking away something from him, he stops being Batman. He grabs, you know, a morpher off their belt. He grabs the dagger. I mean, we're talking a change in the fight.
What's he going to do with the dagger? He doesn't know how to play it.
I think you guys are missing.
Shit, barely the fucking Tommy. He's playing a flute with a helmet on.
You guys are missing a very, very important thing. Tommy is the most OP, overpushed Ranger of all of them. He sucks. He's Roman. Team Jason for life.
Team Jake, get the fuck out of here. Jason's a great Ranger, but he's nothing compared to Tommy Oliver.
Tommy Oliver could suck it. He's the Roman Reigns of the Power Rangers.
You shut your whore mouth.
Don't you ever talk about Tommy Oliver like that again.
Overbooked, overscripted, overhyped.
You son of a bitch.
Overpushed.
The greatest Ranger
the
of
Green
all
Ranger.
time is Tommy
he's
Oliver.
a badass. Oh, they beat his ass. Oh, we'll make him the White Ranger, just OP and more. Oh, okay. He just kicked out of like every finisher. Spear, pin, repeat.
Well, if you thought
I'm sorry,
save the world from Batman, you were wrong.
Plus,
I still think
Tommy
Batman
Oliver
would kick his ass, so it's not the point.
Well, as a Ranger, you know, as a kid before he morphs for sure, but as a Ranger, you got fucking Tommy who outsmarted Goldar and Rita. Fucking Jason barely got out of there. Had it not been for Goldar fucking up, Jason's fucking his head is sitting on a spike in the goddamn moon base, bro.
And I can live with that because Voltron's better, but that's a discussion for another time.
Outsmart Goldar and Rita Repulsa is not very. They tried to invade the Earth every day at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on Fox Kids, and they failed every single time. Until this big naked skinless dude in a silver thong, came in and started throwing grenades at the earth and blowing up the monsters.
Lord Zed is the all ruler. Do not talk about Lord Zed, goddammit.
All right,
they
how about
beat
this?
his ass twice in the movie and the TV show. He ain't ruling shit.
All right.
That was Ivan Ooze, bro.
Who's dumber, Goldar and Rita Repulsa combined, or the Bulk and Skull theme going off at 4:30 in the morning on a Saturday?
Am I not going to live this down? I said I was sorry.
Never, dude. That is your defining moment of 2019.
Yeah. Only waking Jeff and myself up. Nick and Lape slept through it, but somehow Jeff and I both woke up.
We looked at each other too. We were like, "What the?"
Yeah, we both sat up and kind of looked at each other like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I was like, Kendo, turn it off.
Yeah, I had to. Well, yelling at him didn't work, so I had to get up and take matters into my own hands and turn off his phone. It's like, make it stop.
Oh fuck.
I've never hated Bulk and Skull more in my life than I did in 2019. And the last time I had anything to do with Bulk and Skull was probably 1996.
I couldn't even get dude. I stopped watching Power Rangers in like mid '95 when they went to Zeo. I was like, I'm done.
Okay, then I was out before then because when it was the original set, I was in, and then once like Jason, Zach, and Trini left to go to some peace fucking thing, I'm like, I'm done.
That was season 2.
Yeah, that's when I bounced.
Well, I was okay as long as when the Rangers morphed, their costumes were the same. So I was like, I don't care about Rocky, Adam, and Aisha. I just care about the red, black, and yellow Rangers. They're cool, and Billy's my favorite. So, yeah. Anyway, this has concluded our Power Rangers portion of this week's show. Let's see. Dr. Ian Malcolm says, I think the Joker movie is already hints that Bruce Wayne doesn't have normal human emotions. I agree, because he did kind of just look at Arthur Fleck between the grates of his fence. Just like, meh.
Yeah, he's kind of let this motherfucker put his fucking fingers in his mouth.
I thought Alfred was really shitty. Not the actor. I just thought Alfred should have been quicker.
I think Alfred did the best at that time. I just think it was very weird that they kind of like gloss over him, you know.
Alfred was on cocaine, dude.
That's true.
It was 1986.
My cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Voided Legacy, that's a cool name, says someone has to put down Star Wars like a sick dog.
I mean, not wrong.
I think Star Wars should be treated like the speeder bike on Endor and Return of the Jedi that spun around the tree twice and then blew up. Because that was one of the gnarlier deaths.
That's apt.
Yeah. Swinging Cod says, does anyone else regret that Superman Lives never got made? Nick Cage could have been either the best or most likely worst Superman, but crazy. Ugh. I was watching Face Off today, and I thought to myself, this was almost Superman. And then the 90s ended.
Yep, that shit would have been fucking crazy.
I'd have watched it regardless.
Yeah. It was Superman. I remember getting a sci-fi magazine. Like Sci-Fi Channel had their own magazine for a while, and it was about Superman Lives, and they had like a picture of him in the suit, or they had a picture of him with long hair or something.
Yep. Yeah, it was both.
But I just remember vividly, the only thing I remember from that magazine is they had ads in the back. You could buy a James Bond cap gun. I was like, Mom, can I get this? And she's like, sure. And then we never ordered it. Damn you, memory!
Damn you!
Liquor Jim says, P.S. Hello from the good land. Well, Liquor Jim, I just left. I will be back. If you are in the good land, maybe we'll hang out one day. Let me know. Servant of God 777. Thank you. He says, Tommy Oliver is OP, but I still like him. To be fair, Batman is a bit OP too, when mishandled. Also, if I had put my money on it, Tommy by a hair. There you go, Dion. It'd be a close fight, but Tommy would beat Batman.
Negative, bro.
Saying, dude, they're good. He's got the power on his side. Batman's just got some guilt that his parents are dead.
Damn, my mom and dad are fucking dead.
Martha,
why'd you say that name?
That's so dumb. I'm so glad.
It really is. It really, really is.
And then Servant of God 777 also says, but Alfred would shoot him dead. SAS, remember? In terms of Arthur Fleck showing up at Wayne Manor in the film.
Well, I mean, it did burn down that jungle in Burma.
A diamond the size of a tangerine, Master Wayne. Some men just want to watch the world burn. And that is why I do not miss the Nolan movies. Random speeches.
I miss them.
Hey, it was great while it lasted. So, folks, we have had a 3-hour and 8-minute show, and it's been a hell of an evening. So, Dion, Kendo, is there anything you guys would like to say before we close out this epic 140K subscriber special / Star Wars night.
My cocaine. Sometimes I have a little fantasy where I go out to Miami Beach and I get a coffee and I look across the way and it's you, and then we both drink and get fucked up.
I was just gonna plug Nick's channel, Real Independent Productions, Real with 2 E's, haha, film pun, where they talk about movies like horror movies and stuff. The most recent one was me and Nick reviewing a movie called Trick or Treat, which was a lot of fun. So check it out.
I've seen that film.
It's a good one.
And I know Nick Utam.
You do.
Let's see. Thunder Robots, thank you very much for your super chat. He says, episode 9 ends with Doc Brown saying, Obi-Wan, you got to come back with me. Also, see Justice League Power Rangers crossover comic. I will read that because I've read the first 2 issues and I never finished it. But I thought the artwork was great because it made the Power Rangers look like the cartoon or the TV show. They were not buff like they draw them in every other iteration. What do you? Sorry. What do you guys think about Obi-Wan Doc Brown style?
I'd watch it. I think it'd be some wacky ass fucking shit.
So would a time traveling car would the time machine seem weird to them, or the car with tires?
Car with fucking tires if it's Obi-Wan for sure.
Right.
You fly to the Dagobah system in this thing.
It's 88 miles per hour. Wait, what?
The best part is if you were going to use the DeLorean to fly through space, it would take so long. So, and you only move through time, not space. So, like, you would fly for like 12 years to get to wherever. And then it's like, oh, we're going to jump through time. So we've only gone for 1 minute. But then you just age 12 years in 1 minute. Talk about a terrible existence.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be like watching episode 9. It's going to feel like 12 years to get through the movie.
That leads to so many jokes. Adam Wofford says, "Hey, Geeks and Gamers just posted a video with Robert Pattinson saying Batman isn't a hero." Excuse me. Oh God, Robert Pattinson, please shut up.
Yeah, shut up, Rob. Just shut up. Fucking your
just,
girlfriend cheating on you. This is shit. This is why shit like this.
You're an actor. You don't have an opinion. Just you're a dancing chimp. Just do that.
Yeah. Let us enjoy our Batman, bro.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why he adorns my shelf 12 times.
That's right.
And if I had the space, I would get a full-scale bat signal.
Dude, the guy up the street from me's got one on his garage.
Ooh.
Yeah, I drove by it the other night and it fucking threw me for a loop. He's got like a bat signal just like projecting against his garage. I was tempted to stop to see if Batman actually showed up, but then I realized it's a 2-lane road with no shoulder, and that would be a very bad thing.
I'm glad you had the realization of what the traffic repercussions would be as opposed to Batman's not real. But hey.
Well, yeah, because I mean, the road I live on, especially at night, there's a bunch of hillbillies out here trying to win the Hoosier 500, drags racing up and down it. So it's not a good idea.
Well, when your town's only appeal is a 7-Eleven, I understand. Not yours, theirs.
Okay.
Folks, this has been episode 193 of World Class Bullshitters. Every Thursday night, and now it's Friday. Technically, it's Saturday where I am. We take a dump on the world of pop culture. If you enjoyed this, and we hope you did, because so many of you stuck with us through the evening, hit that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you for spending all 3 hours and change with us, everyone who has supported the channel, and everyone who is watching all the videos and doing what you guys do to keep this portion of the Fandom Menace super strong. We appreciate it. And, looking back, these last 4 years have been awesome. It's been really great since 2017. It just keeps getting better and better every single day. So we're going to do a big Fandom Menace meetup next year before Celebration. So if you are part of the community and you want to meet us and other people, well, come to Celebration out in Analheim, California, and we're going to do something awesome. So it's going to be a big year for us in 2020. 2019 is going to end with a bang. And that's really about it, folks. So that's it from all of us here at World Class Bullshitters. We thank you again. And as always, hold on, wait. Got a super chat from our friend Tito Torres who says, "I'm at work and it sucks, but enjoy the stream." Thank you, Tito, for the $2 super chat. We appreciate you. Hopefully, if you have been listening the whole time, you've enjoyed it. And if you just got to work and we're closing out the stream, well, I have good news. There's going to be a replay, and it's just as funny the second time. So everyone watching, watch the show a second time. All 3 hours, 13 minutes, and 30 seconds. So, folks, thank you for watching. And as always, be excellent to each other.
.com, Dion.
.com.